I stand before you today, a free man, no chains, no masters.
The fourth day of rallies and protests on the streets of Los Angeles.
It was a peaceful rally. What is going on right now is also peaceful.
Here we are expecting rallies later on.
When they show up, we gotta show up even stronger.
In Los Angeles, there is a new crowd of protesters that has been building.
CNN had it that these were rallies. Now they've become protests. I'm afraid that by tonight they become riots. If we don't have the ability to stand up...
We talk about like the age of information. What we really are in right now is an entertainment age.
They still want to shoot you. They killed Charlie Kirk. They praised it. They want Donald Trump. They want Chirachik. They want anyone they associate with the right. They want to kill them. They brag about this. They continue on with this. It's been over a month and they're still going on about it. At some point, you got to say, hey, maybe that's me too.
Hello, world champions. I'm John Ward, and today on Breaking News, we are breaking the fake lie continuum. Get ready for 1.21 gigawatts, McFly, because your mind is a boomer expat, and this episode is the Bangkok Ladyboy Softball Club, and hardballs are also okay too. Also, that club. Sorry, we know good English. And what I mean by that is, not only is your mind about to be blown more times than a lead in a LeBron James Finals series, it's going to get blown in ways you don't want it to. A horror in the midst of which you will realize this is the real soul crusher. You're paying for it.
A free man, no chains, no
compromise, but it is a compromise nonetheless going to have to be made if we are to ever revamp and rework the system, ultimately in an attempt to circumvent any kind of violent revolution.
This is the future. There is nothing left for us to do. They have taken it away from, they have stolen it from us. They are thieves. They have no idea what is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a maybe the first Q&A. Is it the first Q&A? Everyone's a Fed except me. Ladies and gentlemen, you like that? Little ASMR. Say hello to
You
what's curly hair doing?
The skinhead do.
Dude, I thought about ripping it all off. I did. I thought I said we're going midlife crisis. I almost went full Britney Spears, but I didn't.
Oh, hi, Atlas. How are you?
Atlas, what's up, dude?
I'm on air. Oh, what's going on? What's going on, guys? Yeah. I just got done crashing out for an hour and a half. How are you guys doing?
Good job.
Atlas, your crash outs don't really count, dude. They're so calm and nice.
That's what people tell me.
You know what? I was gonna say that. Do y'all remember the guy who was like I think the joke was that he was like Albanian and he was like, I'm going to break my mother, I swear. You remember? Does anyone remember that? The guy who was like faking rage. That's what Atlas kind of reminds me. He raises it. Atlas getting pissed off as he shakes his head and raises his voice like one octave.
Smelly Balls with the first question. Just a Q&A. We're gonna have call in. We're gonna have a Q&A. Toss in questions. Ask a question. We'll give you an answer. Maybe it's the right answer. Maybe it's the wrong answer. But it is an answer. Because nobody cares. Nobody cares about being right anymore. Everybody cares about power. That's all they care about. Anyway, don't give me. We're not crashing out the first 30 seconds of the show right now. Question for Josh.
Oh.
6.
Celebrates 2 months of membership. First question for Josh. What is his shoe size? It's 12 and a half.
Donald Trump's going to buy you a pair of 14s.
A pair of 14s, I'll take.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that floating around? Apparently, all of Donald Trump's cabinet was gifted shoes by Donald Trump, and he guessed their shoe size. And now everybody's scared to take them off, to not wear the the shoes that Donald Trump gifted him. And so now Marco Rubio, little Marco's running around with size 13 shoes, and he's like a size 11 foot. He's probably like a size 8, to be honest with you. Have you seen it?
So Mike, that makes sense. Well, I was curious because Mike Johnson, somebody said he was standing on a milk crate earlier, but he wasn't. It must be these new shoes. He's wearing size 24s.
Yeah. Donald Trump gifted his entire cabinet and everybody else these shoes. He didn't say, oh, go get them custom tailored or what shoe size are you using? He says, here's shoes. Wear them. And everybody's so fucking scared. Everybody's so fucking yes man over here that we got to wear shoes that are 2, 3, 4, 5 sizes too fucking big.
Makes sense. This is where the administration is, right?
Dude, it's like we're going to fucking Auschwitz and everybody's got to have the same fucking pair of shoes. So when we go through the fucking chambers, then we get the pile of shoes and they're all the fucking same shoe.
Ooh, are the shoes kosher, Zeb? Is this an
Obviously. They probably got red bottoms too. Bunch of fucking pedophiles. They're all... You know what size shoe they are? They're Jew size. That's how shoe size they are. Jew size shoes.
They
as
fit
long as
Mark
they're Nike
Levin.
Jordans, I'll wear them.
Shoeowitz. Thank you, Zach. Smelly balls with the membership. Hope. Biggest dick is in heaven. Rex. Zach. Oh, we got a bunch of memberships in here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nav channel. We were supposed to do this on a member stream, but we're not. Anyway, we're going to be doing things on the Nav channel. The Nav channel will stay more active than my channel, more than likely, at least when it comes to like live streams. So please support Nav with memberships. Other than that, I announced on Telegram earlier today, and I'm probably going to throttle back my live streams. It's bad for my mental health.
Yeah,
and also exhausting.
I'm pretty sure me and you talked about this, but just for everybody in the audience, just to get an idea, like for whatever reason, YouTube pushes you, they want you to live stream, but the best way to grow is by videos. And so it's kind of like balancing both of these. And like, I'm right there with Zeb. Like it's the amount of time, if you want to make something good, the amount of time you have to put into the editing and actually get it out there. And then also do the live streams on top of it. It's just like, it's insane at that point. Now you're talking about 14+ hour days, day in and day out. And I get the same struggle as Zeb, like having to take care of the children. Besides that, they worrying about the babysitting, who's got the baby. It's rough, man. So I feel you on all that.
Dude, I mean, there's a reason that no one in this space, and I've said this before, I think I've said it on the Nav channel with you, is there's a reason no one in this space actually lives the life that they claim they want to have, or actually lives the life that they espouse should be lived. It's because it is quite literally not possible. You have to be a faggot to make it in this world.
Yeah.
And if you're not a faggot,
True.
you have to grind your ass off. And the problem with that is if you grind your ass off, you then do not have any life outside of this. You live this, you're married to the game. And this gift is a curse.
Is that Lil Wayne or is that Boykin?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's Lil Weezy.
But it's true though.
Whoa.
Like,
Black person reference, Zeb?
Dude,
you? Disappointing.
Listen, dude,
I'd expect it from the reformed
I'm not
wigger.
racist. I'm not racist.
it's funny. I am. I definitely am. I'm not afraid to say it. Are we doing this like an Alcohol Anonymous? Like the first step is getting past denial. I do have that's not a problem. I am racist.
We love you for it, Atlas. Least favorite to most favorite race, go. First Colin.
Oof.
So I had, it's actually the friend you met, Atlas, when we all got together. But he was a visionary on the racism. See, back in like 2020, I was ranting about like, man, these black people, George Floyd, they're going crazy. And he was like, and he would just randomly go off on these tangents about Indians. I was like, dude, when's the last time you even saw an Indian? He was ahead of the curve, man. I got to give him credit where credit's due. Like you get like the Costco on Saturday thing. That's not a meme. That is reality. Like I did it. I pause. I went to Costco with my mom and and it was like I was in Bangladesh and it smelled like it too. It's crazy.
Yeah, same thing is true here. You know, we had there's a Costco that sits like at the edge of Columbus. I won't give too many details away because some of you guys are, you know, ridiculous. Anyways, the Columbus is like basically a big circle, and one of the Costco's sits at the very, very edge of like the nicest spot of all of Columbus. And it's actually like connected to this big like industrial kind of parkway where all these other businesses are down the road. So it's like far removed even from like the urban centers. It's the edge of the city, and it is little India. It is like it's just so aggressive. And I don't even go there anymore, but my wife did recently, and she was like, it's just so bad. And if you see any posts from Ohio about a Costco that's really bad, just know it's that one. And I've been there before, and it's sad to see what it's become.
Is there like I don't know, like can you get in trouble for like just putting up like posters of bad things that Indians don't like, but it's in their language? I guess you could probably get in trouble for that, I guess, but that would be funny. Like the same friend,
a hate crime.
The same friend, he learned a bunch of like he studied Indian and Chinese culture to learn like what's the worst thing you can call them in their own language, and learned it. So like he'd be gaming and he'd be like "Chinto wa baba" to like Chinese people, and they'd flip out because that's like the worst thing. It's like you have sex with your mom or something in Chinese, and they like freak out, and this like goat effer in Indian is, I forget what it was, but he like had them all memorized. He had like a sheet and he knew them all, and he was like, so you play with an Indian guy, and he would just spam it,
Dude, I gotta be honest. I with a lot of the work that I do, which I talked to you about, I try to get you on there too. I had a couple conversations earlier today, dude. Like I actually had to log out early because I had an Indian, then I had a Middle Eastern guy. I could only assume he was Israeli, and then I had a black chick who was so obnoxious. Like I had 3 of them in a row. I was tapped out, dude. I couldn't do one more conversation. I was like, literally can't do this. And I was like talking. It was with the black chick specifically. I was having this conversation about like the thing, the prompt, because I do a lot of like AI work for video and voice, and so like voice talent stuff. So this is one of this black lady I have. She must be brought on for like her looks, because she definitely had no intelligence. And dude, the thing she was saying was just so insane. Like I was about to like crash out harder than I did on my show, and I just like I held it in, and I just started going, "Oh yeah, that's nice, definitely. Yeah, definitely, that's nice." I just like hollowed out my whole humanity just left. Oh yeah, definitely, that's nice. Because I was like, if I say anything more, dude, I'm gonna say something gonna get me kicked.
These conversations are not scripted. They're like just talk about subject whatever.
Yeah, so they have a bit of deliberation because they don't want you to talk about. They want you to talk about things you're comfortable talking about or you have expertise in, so you stay on those areas. But I got matched with this black chick who like literally we had nothing in common, and so she just picked something random, and it was like about like where do you get your news from or something like that. And I literally said like a couple things about the Iran war, and she was like, and no joke, like her response back was she was like, "Yeah, no, I've not been seeing anything about that at all. Like, so I don't really know what you'd be so concerned about." Like just like the stupidest shit. And just like, okay, I shouldn't have even entertained it. I should have just said I love Facebook or something. Just lie. I have an easier time lying than being honest.
Understandable.
Chat, y'all aren't asking questions. This is a Q&A. I need questions. Now.
Well, Biggest put one in here, didn't he?
Who?
Biggest.
Mr. Biggest Ridiculous.
Somebody said something about the old Tom Sawyer book. I have it. I was looking for it. I can't find it right now.
Oh, is that what you're doing over there?
Yeah. I have an old copy. I just don't know where it's at.
Wow. I want to say, wasn't Jim a good guy? I've never read that. I've never read Tom Sawyer.
Me either.
It's been a while. When will Zeb do a funny? When you ask me a question relevant to what's going on in today's world. Dude.
Okay, he didn't
listen to Atlas earlier today. Atlas used to say, he said, I can't do a deep voice right now. He said, I don't really want to label everyone as a Fed all the time. That's what he used to say. Now he says, dude, it's just all fucking gay. Like, dude, so true. So true. Everyone's a Fed. Everyone. It's the truest statement that's ever been made. Everyone is a Fed except me. Get your merch link down in the bio. Anyway.
Listen.
Dude, Atlas had me going for a second there where he was like, guys, please pray for Zeb. Zeb's going through a lot right now. And I was like, what's going on? What's he talking about? I was like, he's going to become an accelerationist just like Josh and I. I was like, all right, you had me going there for a minute.
Nope.
I thought I heard a boom.
Listen, I'm crashing out. I'm not retarded. There is a difference.
That's fine.
Are GQKs Mexicans? No, Italians are. Next. Is Joe Kent controlled op flanking the right? He's going to be the main anti-war voice now.
Short answer, yes. Or
I don't know if flanking the right is the right term. I don't think he's pulling a Tucker Carlson per se.
Well, because Tucker Carlson was big behind Joe Kent when Joe Kent ran in 21.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of the reason that Tucker was attacking Nick initially. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit of a, partnership. Like Joe Kent is now trying to curry favor with Tucker.
Does Nick come out tonight in favor of Joe Kent?
I don't think so. Why would he?
In favor of? I don't think so.
Yeah, in relative favor of. Huh?
He quoted him earlier today. He said,
What'd he say?
well. That's all he said. It was well.
Was the tweet, because I saw it too, and then Atlas, you brought it up on your show, was the tweet where he said, I disavow Nick Fuentes because of his take on Israel, our greatest ally. Was that recently, or was that back from 21?
2022.
Okay, all right. So okay. I figured that's what it was, but for some reason I thought, is this like a more recent thing? So we'll see.
Well, what I would say in addition to everything too is the fact that I have already seen all over X. This is one thing I wish I would have remembered to say on stream. I'm already seeing the lie that is, JD Vance was in these conversations with Joe Kent and Tulsi Gabbard, and and JD Vance, with Tulsi Gabbard, and and JD Vance and this, and so it's like they're already trying it. It seems a little bit. Somebody is, at least there's some kind of bot network that's pushing this idea that Vance is also on the side of Tulsi Gabbard and Joe Kent. Obviously that's not going to fly. Clearly JD Vance has been a lot more of a war hawk than what the media has been put on. But I'm kind of curious, well, would a Tucker and Kent take, does that even possible? Does that even come to your mind? That's some of the first thoughts I had. Are we going to see a Carlson Kent, 2028 ticket?
Possibly.
I highly doubt it. A couple things. The Vance Tulsi thing came up like 3 weeks ago before the Iran bombing itself, and the initiation of them announcing it, saying that there were like two lone voices that were anti aggression in bombing Iran and going on offensive, and that was Tulsi and Vance, and I tweeted out a Vance Tulsi 2028 ticket. Bookmark this, and I think I'll stick with that for a long time. That being said, that's for primary. I don't think that makes it to the general. That being said, I do think Tucker probably for his own benefit, even if he doesn't think he's going to win, even if he doesn't want a presidency, but for his own safety, I think he announces a run for president as soon as he possibly can, to be honest with you.
Well,
yeah.
So something I've been kind of thinking about recently as it relates to Tucker is his connection. Hello, hey.
I don't think Tucker is being honest either. So
yeah, no, everyone knows that. But
do they look at him?
Like, I don't think
Josh.
You can completely discount.
Retarded.
You can't completely discount what Mark Levin says about Tucker being paid by Qatar and the other Gulf states. He obviously is. So I think there might be this hedging thing going on with Tucker where is he connected with the CIA? Yes, but what degree is that? Is he CIA royalty? Is he actively in it? We can't say for certain. I mean, we feel a certain way about it, obviously. But my point is we don't know. Is he pulling strings or is his strings being pulled, and to what degree?
You need to stop hanging out with Ken so much, dude.
No. You're misunderstanding what I'm getting at.
No,
I'm saying
I understand what you're saying.
No.
You're very radio talk show host right now, and I need you to give me a little more energy. I need something. I need something out of you, Josh, right now.
He's gonna beat the shekels out of you if you don't.
What do you? I mean, you don't. You get what I'm saying, do you not?
I get what you're saying,
My
yeah.
My point being is that he is.
Is it even
I think
a question? He's getting paid by Qatar.
No,
obviously he is.
Hot damn, nigga! Let me finish the point.
Everybody's getting fucking sand dollars out here. What do you mean?
Well, that's exactly what I'm getting at. As I think Tucker and whatever, if the idea starts with him or higher up, or it's just him, who knows? That's what I'm getting at. But the idea is that the focus of Israel being our main client state in the region is shifting. So I think he is going to come out as the representative of Qatar and the other Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, and that he will ultimately, at the end of the day, he is not going to throw Israel under the bus to the degree that needs to happen and to the degree that we want, but he is going to, as we talk about, he is going to horseshoe. He is going to, what do you call this?
All right, Bibi's dead. He's been dead for a week.
Okay.
Hold on. Bibi's been dead for a week. Tucker finds out Bibi's dead. Israel kind of pulls back, visibly, publicly pulls back a little bit. Obviously not privately. That's just not going to happen. But visibly pulls back a little bit. Tucker's like, oh, maybe there's a change in situation over here in Israel. Let me get all my boomer friends, and we'll just rally on up and vote for Vance again.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's a possibility. I mean, what we're dealing with right now is Satan, demons, the bloodlines,
Netanyahu,
Mossad, CIA, Tucker Carlson. Like maybe you can throw in Saudi Arabia or Qatar in there, and somewhere between CIA and Tucker and Mossad. What did Ken ask you on the show this morning? He said M16. He was talking about MI6. What was he saying? I was like, what the fuck is this dude talking about?
He kept calling MI6, M16, and M16. And what did he say? He said, he goes, did the CIA and MI6 like basically put the Shah of Iran as the fake head of the government of Iran? And I was like, yeah.
Dude, these are the same people. They're like, yeah, we need to regime change so we can destabilize their shit so that they never advance. And I'm like, we have a fucking regime change every 4 to 8 years, and y'all motherfuckers want more term limits. You stupid motherfuckers. Damn.
But this is
I don't need to cuss tonight. I am crashing out, but I don't need to cuss.
But this is the black pill, right? Like this is like what is going on? Like how are we at this position that like literally the most insane, nonsensical, incoherent dog shit, forgive me, is more believable than like, I don't know, maybe Israel does have an exceptional amount of influence. Maybe there is something to Mossad and Jeffrey Epstein. And you hear things like Alex Jones bringing up Epstein. He's like, yeah, but he worked for the CIA and the Trilateral Commission, but also he was there and with the FBI, and he also had connections to MI6. Every literal thing mentioned before Israel. That's part of the black pill. It's just looking people in there. You see it posed out there, and I laugh at these ideas, but you see others and they're licking it up. Wow, that's great. That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
I'm not trying to start anything, but I'll admit, because I haven't been hardly on any shows lately because of all the stuff I'm doing on the side, OTO occasionally, Groyper Report occasionally, but and I'm never on Twitter. I'm just as black-pilled as you guys. No Fed post here, but I'm coming around to Zeb's position a little bit. It's not going to happen, but I
was thinking about that this morning.
I want to go to the Capitol and go on a tour.
I mean, that's kind of what brought me here, dude. That's kind of what brought me here. this weekend
with a ticket,
along with a couple of other things. It's like
press pass.
It's like, okay, if there is a solution, let's say there is. Let's say it's political. Let's say it's violence. Let's say it's go to the Capitol. Let's say it's whatever it is. Regardless, the foundational principle is collectivity. Like, we have to form a collective. That's not going to happen. I've tried many times over with people in the same sphere of influence that could leverage very highly to a point of actually causing problems. And they will not work with each other. You all know them by name, behind the scenes, and they just will not do it because of personal fucking beef. Anyway, the collective is the primary issue.
Yeah.
The other premise that we have to assume is that I forgot. I'll remember in a minute and bring it back up. I'll interrupt Josh to do it.
Yeah, no kidding. Go ahead, Atlas. You go.
Let me go back to this before I forget it, because Biggest Dick has put this in the chat, and I think it goes into a lot of what I'm getting ready to say too. And I know you have been following this, Zeb. I've been following Woe and also Corey. But even inside of that small smear of influence, there was a bunch of infighting happening today, of all things, you know. And you're seeing these publications start arguing with Woe, and it goes to what you're saying, dude. Like, this coalition feels impossible. It feels like no matter what somebody wants to argue or find some reason of why they won't pair sides with it, why they have to have their own version versus somebody else's. But to the point, though, here's the question from Biggest Dickus. I can't pull it up because it's a little bit old, but he says, essentially my question boils down to this. It's two parts. The first is this. Do you think the browning of America will affect the efficiency and functionality of the country? And I say yes. I think, of course, it will. It's already happening, right? It's happening right now.
The fuck you mean will?
Is that a
so
real
I did
question?
I wanted to do a video on this, on basically this exact question. The question would have been something to the effect of, at what percentage and or how long of a time frame does it take for a non-white society to degrade, for white society to be influenced and degrade into something that is not civilization? And I looked at larger cities, I looked at states, I looked at entire nations and how they're developing, and basically the conclusion I came to was around 82%. Anything greater than 82% anything less than 82% of whites within a country, it cannot last over like 5 to 10 years. And so we're at like 64%. And the fact that we are like above board right now is absolutely insane to me. That being said, I want to pair that with a question here.
It's about to get hot and spicy.
With Zach. Does this war usher in the fall of the U.S. dominance and lead to China taking over as our allies fall away? I want to pair these together because they're kind of asking essentially the same question. Does America exist in the near future? And when we talked about this before, and obviously there's been a lot of developments lately, but Ian did a video last night, night before last. I watched a little bit of it. And he basically came to the conclusion, I guess he could talk to a few people or whatever, that I've been trying to not come to, which is that this Iran war, I think we're losing. I legitimately think we're losing the war, which is absolutely mind blowing to me. I don't like, the only answer is retardation. Like the only answer to us winning this is they are quite literally too retarded to not lose. Too retarded to not win. So like they could literally do anything, like anything except for what the fuck they're doing, and we would be fine. And so it makes you come into question is this intentional, and what does this bring about? I think it brings about essentially the end of Israel. They're not going to be able to stop Iran. The Iron Dome is done. Our ship defenses cannot stop for what's coming in from Iran. We don't have the ammunition. They have $100 drones that they're shooting out their ass that are like 8 feet tall, and they can't stop it.
Yep.
I think they're done for, dude. And so the extension of that is they have to go somewhere. Where do they go?
Israel?
Yes. Or either we and the whatever's left in the East funds an entire rebuilding of a new nation of Israel. Entirely. Or 15-minute city nation.
More likely. Because actually, I think what you're proposing makes a lot of sense, actually.
I think they want it destroyed.
I think the problem is if we pull back and Iran continues to push, it will result in the Samson option.
We don't have to pull back. We don't. I don't think we can beat Iran without major boots on the ground right now.
Yeah, agreed.
So you think it's more likely the boots on the ground will happen than we'll withdraw?
Unquestionably, boots will end up on the ground.
Like boots. I'm not talking about Marines on Karg Island. I'm talking about to the extent of what you're talking about.
Battlefield 3 reference.
I mean, this is Donald Trump right here.
They're going to have to pull a false flag.
I'll quote Donald Trump right here. I'm not afraid to put boots on the ground. This is the day in Iran, even if it turns into another Vietnam.
Thomas Matthew Crooks.
I saw that too from Peters. I don't think he said that verbatim. He said something rough, though.
It's a joke.
I'm trying to remember the clip you had.
They're already sending boots. Laura, can you link?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is it? 2,500 Marines, 2,500 sailors?
Hold on. He says, I'm not afraid of me. I mean, that's essentially what they've been saying, regardless of if Stu Peters is entirely accurate, if that's an accurate quote. I mean, they said they're sending 5,000 troops. It's not boots on the ground necessarily. They are sending them through what's called a MEU on a ship. So, I mean, you're tossing out the Samson. I don't think they use a Samson option, man. I mean, maybe they do. Whether they do or not, I don't think it changes much.
But I guess, well, here's where my brain goes, right? Which is, if we were to take this kind of sabotage of the Gerald R. Ford as any kind of indication that there is some extreme discontent with the current members of the military not wanting to continue this operation, whether you believe in that or not, I still look at that and still see the large scale, which is how would that then map out if now you're talking about an upwards of 100K boots on the ground invasion? Would you not expect to see more of these guys refuse to consent or try to mutiny in some way? Or no?
I mean, you'll have some. You'll have some.
They'll start killing those people. Public traitor execution.
I mean, they'll lock them up on ship. They'll lock them up somewhere. I mean, it'll be so deterred. I mean, defying orders doesn't really happen. Not directly. It's like the guys on ship that didn't want to shoot Tomahawk missiles. It's okay. What do? We plug the toilets with shirts. It's like that wasn't really a direct defiement. That's like some end around way to slow things down, and then they still launched everything on time. So it's there's nothing. Some idea of a collective of people within the military can do to stop what is willed by the top.
I get that. So here's my next question then. What do you think sells better? What do you think is more recoverable from in PR? Having 10K plus, American casualties, or just wheeling back that we dropped the bomb? Right? What if the option is they decide to go
10K
tactical nuke? What do you
Easy 10K.
You think so?
Because it's a win. The only thing that matters is the win, right? So we've won this war 18 times in the last 2 weeks, but we're still fighting. Now, why are we still there? It's because Donald Trump has to tell you that it's a win. And so anything that results in a win is a win, regardless of the cost of that thing. We've already seen that. I mean, we've got 24 or something dead Americans right now.
That's
Is it
what I
that
saw
high
from the
already?
Iranian thing.
It's something like
That's what I
that.
saw from the Iranian international source. That's what I couldn't believe. I'm glad you saw the same thing. It was something. It's like into the multi-thousands, and they'd say they'd confirmed at least 200 of them by their own outlet reporting. Then, in addition to that, they'd said that they destroyed 37 different vehicles, whether it was aircraft, whether it was Navy vessels. That's nothing close to the numbers that we're getting on the domestic side. Which, I mean, this is kind of where I'm at, which is like, who do you trust? Like, where do you even go? Like, what do you believe? Are we supposed to believe Iranian sources over domestic sources? Like, where do you go with that?
I mean, at this point, I think you have to. I think you have to. I mean, the honesty coming out of the Iranian regime, the Iranian area, the Middle East is far more accurate than anything that our administration has given us. Like by leaps and bounds.
It might be exaggerated numbers, but it's not that exaggerated. It's probably like a couple less than what they're saying, rather than just the complete opposite.
I mean, if you ask Donald Trump right now, what's left in Iran, he'd be like, what Iran? We sunk Iran. It's like, because there's nothing there. It's like, okay, we sunk all 34 of their ships. It's like, the Strait of Hormuz is under control. We shot all of the airplanes out of the sky. Oh shit, now they're bombing us. Now they have millions and millions of these cheap drones, and they still control the Strait of Hormuz. It's like, okay, did we do any of that? I just don't believe any of that happened at this point.
And well, I guess my brain goes to like this idea of like, if that is the case, right? What happens when a parent gets wind that it's one of their children that's gone? The United States is lying about their death. What happened with them? And what happens if the New York Times runs that story? My thought process is like, how do you run that kind of, like, the administration's lying about how many people are dying, then we get boots on the ground? Like, that's what I can't see. Like, there's no, people are going to be screaming at the top of their lungs. I get public sentiment doesn't have anything to do with it, but I don't know how you manage that kind of political environment when it's that out in the open that it's going that bad.
If it's that bad, it's going to break. There's no way. You're right. There's no way that they can like ease into it. If they're covering up that many deaths, there's no way that they could like, ooh, I guess we'll put boots on the ground and we'll just say they died with them. It can't happen. If it is that bad, it's going to slip through the cracks. There's no way it can or cannot.
Guys, they've been lying about how many people died for literally 70 years. They're going to continue about lying about deaths.
Right. But obviously, I mean, you can see that.
And what's going to happen? What are we going to do about it? Okay, they're lying about deaths. Okay, 18,000 parents have their sons killed. What are they going to do? They have no real power. They cannot stop anything that is coming.
But my point would be not in a vacuum. It's the fact that the midterms are right around the corner. Like, that's where I'm kind of seeing this. That's where you go, if this is what's happening, you vote Dem, dude. Give the Dems the power. Impeach. Put it over into the House and the Senate. What happens if we start running impeachment trials in the middle of the Iran war?
Nothing.
I think in this case, the power of the midterms is being vastly overestimated.
The midterms are out of position.
This is, I mean, and you heard it. You heard it on the show. The South Carolina head of GOP is talking about how, you know, we talk about mass deportations in Minneapolis, and he's like, this is a detriment to our, you know, blah, blah, blah. Oh. And then he goes, are you concerned at all about the perception of the Iran war amongst young Republicans? Not at all. That's what he said. Not at all. It's not a concern whatsoever.
Here's where I'm at. I don't think they care about midterms. Like, honestly, I don't think they care. Okay, Donald Trump got impeached twice, 3 times in his first term. Nobody gives a shit. Right? Get him impeached another 18 times. It doesn't matter. Nothing changes. And so they don't care about midterms. If they cared about midterms, they would actually do something about it. But they're not doing anything about it, so therefore they don't care about it. I think midterms are just entirely lost in their mind and right now. Like they don't think about midterms. Like, they might mention it, but they don't think about it.
I don't know if you can compare,
even if they did care about it, They could just fix the elections.
I get that, but I guess I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't compare the sham impeachment trials of the first time around compared to an impeachment that may come in a change of House and Senate off the back of the Epstein files, off the back of the coalitions that went across the aisle there. Like, I guess to me, like, maybe perhaps you're right. Maybe, and if that's the case, then I think the whole equation's changed. If you get an impeachment during
I guess my question is, what do you impeach him for?
Treason.
Who's going to impeach him?
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
So I guess
they'll impeach him for fraud.
You don't think that the Democrats would hoist up an impeachment for treason?
No.
I guess then why? What's the reason?
Because this is a game.
Well,
this is a game.
Well, first off, treason for what?
Treason
for
well, you could
the
go
Epstein
sedition,
files.
Go either way. You could do the Epstein files. I think that's one way you could do an impeachment. I mean, they have the administration has been in violation of federal law the moment that they broke it with the act that Massey put forward, right? So there's already a pending charge you could pursue there with the federal statute being broken. But I guess then, I mean, if this is the equation, then I think then what's the point of talking about any of this then, right? I think if the idea here is that there's nothing you can do,
thank you,
right? But I find that to be too, like, I think that's just too simple of an explanation, to be honest with you. Like, I need more to understand why the Democrats would not choose to pursue, like, for each individual Democrat, right, to not pursue an impeachment to bolster their career. Why would they not be doing impeachments? Like,
they'll do the same thing. They'll do the same thing that Massey's doing with the names. He'll just posture and posture and posture and posture. The Democrats will posture and posture and posture and posture. It's all one big clown show. It's up in flames and we're catching bombs. If there is an impeachment, he doesn't get impeached. I mean, it might be on the books, but he's still going to hold office. That's if he makes it to the end of the term, and then it goes to J.D. Vance. And okay, you impeach Trump, now you get J.D. Vance. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm with Zeb on this one, Atlas. I don't see it realistically happening to that degree, and certainly not for a charge like treason.
And especially if they're using, like, that's the only thing they're using to, like, leverage against the midterms. So it's not like, oh yeah, we did this thing, you should vote for us for midterms. Oh yeah, we did this thing that we said we were going to do, we're going to vote for midterms. Oh yeah, we're saving America by going to war, or we're doing this, or we're doing this. No, it's like, you need to vote Republican for the midterms because they might impeach Donald Trump. That makes you MAGA. That's the only thing they're leveraging. And I think it's a bluff.
Well, then I'm going to accelerate it then. Voting Democrat. Voting blue then.
Dude, I mean, I think voting red is the accelerationist position at this point.
This is the argument I made the other day. I appreciate you agreeing with me. The voting blue is 60 mile an hour acceleration. Voting red is 30 mile an hour acceleration. So everybody already knew this. The question is not acceleration. The question is how fast.
No, I think voting blue is 30 mile an hour. Voting red is 60 mile an hour.
You think?
We wouldn't be having these accelerationist positionings if Kamala Harris was in office. We wouldn't have these conversations right now if Kamala was in office.
Listen to Fuentes over here.
Bro, let's go. Let's go, dude.
What are y'all talking about?
That's what he said. That's what he thought Kamala would be better. Because we either wouldn't have the Iran war or we would have it and it would be placed on
I'm not saying she would be better. I'm saying she would be worse. But these conversations wouldn't be haven't had.
Whoa, I thought they didn't matter.
They don't matter. In the grand scheme of things, these things don't matter.
So there you go.
Well, it matters in that I need to express this to all the retards out there because they have no brain ball.
It's funny.
I don't have any retards on my channel, so I have to come to Nav for that. So all the gorpers keep themselves. So.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I've been saying. I mean, the reason why we're going to experience the blue wave is because of all the actions of the Trump administration right now. I I mean, this is going to be kind of a permanent 4-year to 40. I'm going to say 8-year. I don't think Republicans get it back in office for a hot minute, to be honest with you.
The Dem is going to win in 28. Unless we get Hitler too.
I mean, by my logic that the Republican Party is just Democrats, then yes.
Well, yeah.
The Dem won in 24.
You're right. I mean, yeah.
And 20 and 16 and 12 and 8 and Bush doesn't know what he's doing. So
I'd rather have Bush at this point if you were asking me, honestly. I'd take
At
Bush.
least he was kind of likable.
I would take Obama. Put that guy back in office. Go print a new birth certificate.
I've said this for a while. Obama was not like a terrible president. Like all these MAGA people like lost their minds when Obama was running, and then they went MAGA. But it's like, okay, he was pretty gay on the gay stuff, and the social stuff was pretty rough. But like generally, nothing really rocked the boat. The boat rock when Trump came in office, the boat rocking accelerated everything.
Right.
Well, and here's so it's kind of a side note, but here's a perfect example of that. When I was talking about that with it was either you or Atlas, I can't remember now, but it was Atlas, I think. But anyway, my point being is like everyone talks about how Obama just lied when he was running. Oh, I'm a Christian. Oh, I'm anti-gay, and then he got in there and he did everything. Why don't we do that? Why can't we just fake it till we make it? Mask off. Guess what? I'm Hitler. Pack the court.
Yeah.
Dissolve
Hitler,
Congress.
Dude. We're doing Pol Pot, bro. I don't want any survivors, dude. There better be less than 30 million people at the end of this day, dude. Like we're going back to the Stone Age, dude. Every state will have less than 1 million people. Like that's how far back this needs to get set, man.
We are going to put Zambonis in a straight line in like Kansas in the middle of the state. They're just going to move outward and all the illegal, it's just going to push them into the sea.
It's the rumbling American style. It's just a bunch of hockey equipment.
Let me grab these 2 super chats if we can. Beef stroking. This was from earlier, but it works here for Atlas and his infatuation with Pol Pot in Minecraft. Hitler was a moderate in Minecraft.
Yeah, dude. Hitler was definitely a moderate compared to Pol Pot.
Okay.
I will burn this country down before I spend less than $1 billion on Israel. What's the original quote?
Oh,
Invincible.
Oh, I will burn this planet down before I have to spend another minute among these animals. That's the quote.
Yeah. Dude,
Feeling
he's
it.
like, I will burn this planet. Yeah, dude. Omni-Man, dude, goated. Honestly, where's Omni-Man?
Is it worth
dude?
watching? I think I've watched the first episode.
The first
season
phenomenal. Is worth it.
I did start Taboo. Taboo's pretty decent.
I changed my profile picture to Omni-Man in America First Time.
Do you like Dune, Atlas?
Yeah, I think Dune's pretty solid.
Dude, I love Dune. And the 3rd trailer just came out. You might like that, Zeb, if you give it a chance. It's
way too slow. Way too slow.
The first one is.
Way too slow.
The first one is. Oh, so you've seen the first one? Okay.
And I don't like Zendaya.
I don't like Zendaya either, but she's actually okay in that.
No.
She's not really in the
Mitchell
first
Black
one
for 5.
What'd you say?
Zendaya's not even really in the first one much until like the end, towards the end.
She's in the second one and she's just as insufferable as she is in anything, but it's outweighed by everybody else.
Yeah. Well, did you see they're bringing back Jason Momoa in the 3rd one?
Yes.
Yeah, as a clone. That kind of lowered my hopes a little bit, to be honest.
But that's from the books.
Is it really interesting? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I do like the Stargate universe, dude. Just top tier.
Stargate is pretty cool.
I've only
Goated
watched
lore.
Stargate.
Yeah.
SG-1. I thought
Yes,
it was
sir.
good.
It's good.
Omni Trump. I will bring this country down. Oh, sorry. Before I spend $1 billion on Israel, less than $1 billion on Israel. $1 billion? You got to bump those numbers up, dude.
Mark,
those are rookie numbers in this racket. Those are rookie numbers in this racket. Spoilers for the Dune series. Jews survive.
Yeah, lovely.
Think, Mark.
Lovely.
What are y'all talking about?
How we're like quoting the rest of that scene. I'm trying to think like, think JD. How?
Yeah, it's Trump standing over JD. Think, Vance. Think.
No. It's like, think, Tucker. I am MAGA. I say Mark Levin is MAGA. How is anything else MAGA?
Bro,
it's me.
You could do some great Omni-Man sketches with Trump right now, actually.
Yo, let's go. Except I highly doubt Trump will have a redemption arc.
Yeah.
He's too old.
No.
Would he not be more like what's the blonde dude in The Boys?
He's like Homelander.
Would he not be more like Homelander?
He would be, I guess. Except
Homelander's
Homelander's still kind of cool because he's racist. Well, I guess Trump is secretly racist, but
but
I think Homelander's anti-Semitic, which Trump is obviously not.
Spoiler for the Dune series: Jews survive. Thank you, Mitchell. Do they?
I don't know who the space Jews would be in, because it's kind of almost a Muslim thing. It feels kind of like really sand people-y, pro sand people-y.
Yeah, it is way more Muslim. More like Hindu, really, than anything. No,
I'm out of on this one.
Yeah. It's if you count the Bene Gesserit as the Jews, then yes, the Jews win because they made up a fake prophecy to control the world.
Holy
and it worked.
Shit, you're so right. They did. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I guess they did win.
Dudes
You're right.
About the Jews. That's crazy. That's crazy.
William
Isn't it also fake and
says
gay?
the light at the end of the tunnel was menorah. I don't get the reference.
I don't get that. I thought I'm thinking of a dreidel. What's a menorah?
Hold
on. Let me tap in.
Thing.
Let me tap
the
in.
Thing, isn't it? Isn't that a menorah, Josh?
Is that what that is?
The candlestick?
Okay, I guess it makes sense because it's candles. The light at the end of the tunnel is Saturn's rings.
It's true. They literally return in the last book. Ugh.
The Jews?
Dune destroyed. Dune destroyed by Mitchell and 3 super chats.
That's crazy.
Josh and Atlas over there paying for the for their fantasy world.
Well, you know what's crazy? It's matrilineal too, right? Like the whole thing's done from the fact that it's down its mom's lineage.
You're
too.
so, dude. You're right. You're right. Where the
Jews,
powers come from the mother. That's
They have
crazy.
powers. I thought it was like a big worm that they were like getting chased by or something.
So it's like they have power. It's like the Force, but they have like mind control powers. They like whisper in this weird language and it controls people's minds, but they explain it like there's a natural explanation for it. It's like, because computers have been replaced in this world with people because they had an AI. The AI tried to kill them all, so they defeated the AI with EMPs, and now computers are outlawed. So rather than calculators, they have people that are like trained and hypnotized from birth to like do supercomputer-like calculations in their head.
Yeah.
So it seems like magic. It seems like technology, but it's actually real.
So I shouldn't watch it?
No, you should. It's a good watch.
Okay.
Listen, Jews make some good movies. Jurassic Park, one of the greatest movies ever. Jew. Good movie.
Spielberg.
That new movie he is making looks like dog shit. Looks like
Josh acting like he doesn't
sanctimonious
know what
crap.
noise.
I didn't know. But
This
I
is
do
the
know what a
nerdiest
verklempt is.
What?
We talked about that the other day. Hey, I was wondering where this guy was. Where you at, stacking coins? Been a minute.
He's stacking coins or shaving them. One of the two.
All right. Here's do y'all want me to drop? Can I drop link in chat?
I need some scissors.
Yeah.
I'm hitting the wrong.
Yeah,
hitting the
Rex
wrong
took
button.
care of that one, dude.
All right. There's a link if somebody wants to join. If you join, say words. I think Mitchell was asking for it earlier, so it's open.
Yeah. It's open.
What else is there going on, dude? I was putting everything together today like I was going to do a show and I was just like, nah. I got other things to do.
Pam Bondi got subpoenaed by the House Committee.
Good.
For
Epstein. Something. That was a thing that happened today.
Well, first off, this was supposed to be a call-in show. Did we post the link?
I just did. I
Oh,
wonder if
okay.
it posted. Did it post?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I see
It
it.
posted in actual chat.
Yeah, I see it.
All these liggers brave in the comments section. But as soon as that link gets posted, everyone gets real quiet.
Rex says Star Wars got shut down because of Watto. Forgot about that. Yeah, they did have Jews in Star Wars.
Space Jew, yeah. And a Jew made Star Wars, and he was like, we need a giant, big-nosed Jew in Star Wars.
That's what he was, dude.
They had it all, dude. The what do they call them? The Tuscan Raider. The Sand People are the Muslims, clearly.
Yeah.
Think of that Mexican alien. Yeah.
Dude, I need to work on my lats.
Taking their sticks.
Need to work on my lats, dude.
Same. I just need to go to the gym, period.
They feeling small.
I keep relying on
I'm
genetics.
good.
I ain't gonna last much longer.
Here, chat. This is 2 weeks. That's all you get. Josh, your turn.
It's about time. This is me, dude. Smaller than Zeb right now.
Dang,
Tiny,
Alex.
dude. Tiny, dude.
Aren't
I'm
you
getting
tall?
thin.
They-
Look how thin I look.
Aren't you like 6'4"?
No, I am 6 though.
Oh,
It would
Why
be
did I think
better
you
if
were
I was
taller?
6'4", right? No,
Yeah.
only 6. Me and Josh are like the same height, pretty sure.
We're the same height. It doesn't look like it on stream, but me and Zeb are about the same height.
Yeah, Zeb's got that he's got that locked in mode, dude. He's like down here on the keyboard.
You guys are working towards 400. What's today? March 12th, 26. By March 12th, 27, you're going to I'm not going to be able to turn my head because these muscles are going to be like coming out of my ears. My ears are going to be like forward facing.
I'll put it in
I'm
the
gonna look like
description. You'll just have to
Juggernaut.
refresh.
I'm going to be like,
It's
I'm going to
funny.
have to hire someone to open doors for me because my hand literally just busts through. That's what March 12th, 2027 Josh is going to look like. I've been in
Why
the
is
gym
Atlas's
too,
right
but I'm
bicep
baby
bigger
weight.
than the left? That's funny. Because I'm literally barely going. I'm like falling back to genetics.
They're making a joke, dude.
It's funny.
I think he knows.
Oh, I know, dude. I know.
My
but I
roid
use my left
arc.
hand, so that doesn't make any sense.
I can't do it on here.
No, I don't.
Maybe-
That's a joke. I'm just responding it's a joke.
Maybe if I take Clavicular to Haiti and then consume him, I will gain his power. And then I'll be a looks maxer.
What's the guy on Heroes that eats the people's brains and gets their powers?
See, I know the answer, but I don't want to
Skylar.
say it.
Boom. Nailed it.
Close.
Oh, what is it?
Siler.
Nah, I don't
It
believe
is.
you.
S-Y.
Let's Google that real quick.
L-E-R.
I don't believe Josh. He lies to me.
What am I Googling? Somebody said they can't click the link.
Yeah, I'm about to put it into the description.
Here, let me.
Josh, what am I
We
looking
can
at?
get up to a 3-person call in. I could probably do more if we needed to.
There you go.
I don't believe you. Don't show me that.
When presented with evidence.
Josh is lying. Wait, somebody called in. Hold on, I missed him. Mitch. Let me get to a format.
Mitchie.
I'm gonna format and vert. Oh, we know Cabinet. That's cool. If you want to, you can. If don't worry
Saw
about
his
it.
face. Show your face,
There we
coward.
go. Welcome to Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to show it. I'm not sure how
I
to do
think
that,
Mitch
though.
was
It's not
really
working
fucking a
out.
monster.
Here, I got you, Mitch. Don't worry.
Okay, appreciate it.
It's fun. Oh, it's perfect.
You got it. You got it.
Almost fell off. Hold on. Welcome to stream.
Is it good now?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. No, how you guys doing?
What's up, dude?
We're good. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm great. I'm glad to be
Alive.
on here. I'm glad to meet Atlas. I'm glad to meet Josh and Zeb, I guess. But
Perfect.
No-
What's going on,
no,
brother?
Sorry, I fixed you.
I think they're great. Nothing much, man. I'm sorry if there's a delay. I think that, I was talking to my friend years ago, and you guys know this too, but I told him, I said, whatever happens next in terms of a false flag or black swan event, it's going to have to be 10 times bigger than 9/11. Public opinion right now might be on our side when it comes to maybe not Jews, but just how badly this administration has been. But it's going to turn on a dime, the moment thousands of Americans, or maybe even hundreds of thousands, I don't know if we get there, but if that many people start dying, they'll have no problem cheering on a war in Iran. That will end badly for us. So
I
don't know,
hate to
just something
say
I
it, but
wanted
I
to chime
think
in and say.
rather than like it has to be worse than 9/11 in terms of scale, I think they'll go worse than 9/11 in terms of like the shock of it. Like
Emotion.
Like rather than like a numbers game, they'll have Mossad agents disguised as Iraq hold up a Catholic school, and they'll like, I'm not going to say anything, but they'll do things to the people in there, and they'll have images, they'll have videos, and it'll be a standoff for days, and they'll throw dead kids out the windows, like crazy, unimaginable shit.
Well,
Like a upside down Waco almost.
Yeah, something like that, rather than just
I
like,
see.
because here's the thing. They'd rather kill white people than they would, because if you fly a plane into New York right now, you're only going to be killing them and the brown people.
Right. I mean, shoot, I know people joke around and say that nukes don't exist, and maybe they don't. I don't know. I think they do. I mean, it would have to be that scale, something that'll decimate a city on the western, eastern seaboard, and it'll, take down the entire grid of that sector. I mean, you're absolutely right that it's going to have to be visual. It's going to have to be on TV. 9/11, it was between 6 hours for both towers to fall. I can't remember, but it was an extremely short period of time. It happened within 24 hours. So yeah, it's going to have to be something like that, televised, big, all happens on one day, and it's going to affect millions of people. So that was the biggest part
what's
about
the
9/11
point of a
is that
false
Go
flag?
ahead, sorry.
What would be the point of one of those false flags? Just to get public opinion on board?
I believe so.
I just think that public opinion is like not relevant at all.
You don't think so?
Like
No,
I mean,
it bears virtually no relevance to whether we go or don't go at this point.
I wouldn't go
okay,
that far. I mean,
yeah,
they've
because Atlas
stated
today
like
was
the eighth
talking about
front.
Atlas was talking about how that there was sabotage on, the Gerald R. Ford. So to some extent,
Yeah.
I think that, people saying over and over again, hey, you're going to be dying for Israel if you join the military. I think it does affect people. I think people do understand that. I think they get that. So I personally think, I mean, a public opinion doesn't have to stay the same. It just has to get us, inside Iran with boots on the ground. So I think it's
So,
extremely important. I may be overstating it, but just something I was thinking about today.
well, to back up where you're at, some of the thoughts that kind of go in my head is if you look at like any kind of historical mutinies, what time do they happen? When do they happen? And a lot of the times it's generals during periods of war deciding they're no longer going to go along with what the current directive or the current operation is. And I think there's plenty of historical examples of this. I think, most notably, obviously, you go back to Rome. I think, to me, I think there is a chance in there, which is if some point this operation continues its escalation, you may possibly see some maybe higher ranking official, and this is why I highlighted what Brian McGinnis was saying earlier, that he's already getting reports that there are officials in the military who are trying to fight this as best they can, which makes me think there's probably a percent chance that one of these guys may make a public statement, may go against the grain, may do something that is criminal, but otherwise may change the face of the entire equation. So I wouldn't say there's a 0% chance, but I tend to agree with both of them. I do think the overall public sentiment is shown. I mean, it's just historical at this point, last 20, 30 years. It has very little meaning on the actual outcomes of the government.
This is
I
April of 2025. Trump administration fires top U.S. admirals at NATO. He's fired over 10 generals. That was in April. He cleaned house before any of this started. So any of the generals that would object to it are probably not there anymore. And the ones that aren't going to have a big enough voice to do anything about it.
That's fair. And I want to gauge the room here on this because this is something we haven't discussed, and it's something Nick Fuentes has hinted at on his show. He's kind of insinuated that he believes what will happen is there might be some negotiation around the corner for a temporary ceasefire or like cease of hostilities, and then we're just kicking the can further down the line. Do you? I'm mainly asking
what
you
purpose would ceasefire?
Well, I mean, if Netanyahu is hinting at pulling back too, I mean, why would they say that? This is the opportunity that they've been pining for. But like you brought up last week, is it is global capitalism beating out world Jewry?
Yes.
So ergo, they might have to pull back. And then kick the can further down.
I guess why would Iran agree to a ceasefire? They're not taking any damage.
Could be.
I'm a Zeb.
Why would they agree to a ceasefire when it was avoided by one party during the 12-day war multiple times over?
The point being is like, I don't have the answer, but like the point being
I'm not at you. I'm just
I like there could be. I'm not saying that they're going to come up with a ceasefire today. I think a ceasefire might happen rather than the 12-day war in June. It might be 2 months from the beginning of this war to where like Iran is eventually worn down a little bit.
I mean,
to where it becomes like a mutual thing.
They would have to be given something directly for them to agree to a ceasefire.
Right.
Maybe we'll give them a shot.
Let me ask you guys this. I mean, let me ask you guys this. I heard what Josh was saying about a possible ceasefire and kicking it down the road, but this is kind of Trump's MO. He talks big, he starts to do something, and then as soon as things go sour or they don't go his way or it doesn't look good for optics, he just pulls out. So I mean, we saw that with immigration. That's a perfect example. And as soon as I don't think he was going to do it either way. But as soon as things got hot, he got out of there. I mean, what makes this time different? And maybe that's a foolish question, but I'm just saying, like, what
Because
could
The bubble.
go ahead. Sorry.
The bubble that he is wrapped up in. The Jews don't give a shit about mass deportations. They do give a shit about Israel and Iran war. I mean, if any,
Right.
like, and Zeb and I and Atlas too have talked about this before, how he's clearly his feed, what he sees, what is presented to him, and what he sees on his phone. There's no way it's not catered. The level of out of touchness that he is at right now is insane. They're
Right.
saying without saying, like, the bubble exists, and maybe that answers your question, but go ahead.
yeah, I mean
I
the
guess so.
bubble.
I mean, to me, it's like get killed or get burned to the ground as your legacy. It's like, damn, I mean, maybe he thinks like I can stay alive and I
Yeah,
can
but he
keep my
doesn't
family
see that
alive.
as he doesn't see that as his legacy. It's
Right.
I mean, from
Okay.
our perspective, yes. From his perspective, no. His perspective is that he's taking Venezuela. He's gonna honor Cuba by taking it.
Right.
Colombia
Actually,
and
the
Panama are
river
not far
collapsed, I think,
behind.
in Cuba right now.
He's gonna take Greenland. They already have like a $55 billion plan to rebuild Gaza. Why wouldn't they
Right.
implement something like that throughout all of Israel? How do you do that? Well, you have to destroy Israel to then funnel all of that money and infrastructure back into Israel to update it to a modernized society. I mean, it will be. I mean, if you ask me at this point, I'm laying it out there that they're trying to build a new Jerusalem at some point.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, is this all to, like they've been saying, to usher in Armageddon for the new Messiah? Or, I mean, what, is that really the end game?
I mean, that's what they've
the
alluded
troops.
to.
Not even alluded to it. They straight up commanders were telling their units this, right? It was reported by what is it, the MRF, the military or agency of religious freedoms. They had like 200 complaints on the first day when they started sending people over there. They had multiple reports of this. It was from different units. They're all 5 different branches, whether it was Army or Air Force or Navy or Marines. I mean, that's what they said verbatim. Pete Hegseth has said this out loud multiple times before we even were going to war with Iran. This has been kind of like his backing for this. Like, to some of them, it is like this kind of holy war, right? This is what they're waging. They think that what they're doing is right. Which is, it goes back to, again, a lot of this kind of this broken heresy, which is the premillennial worldview, this premillennial dispensational worldview of what is Israel.
Right. I mean, do they think that by them doing this, that they're forcing prophecy? Because everything is on God's time. Like I'm starting to read the Bible from front to back for the first time this year, even though I grew up in the church. And funny
That's
enough,
good.
I'm actually at Judges right now, where the Israelites turned against God after the generation that conquered Canaan, the Promised Land. So it's kind of funny, but just like Revelations wise, is this is this something they can force? I mean, or is this something that they think that they'll force, but it'll turn out completely different?
I would ask you.
I know
What's the
I'm future
difference?
predicting, but
I would ask you what's the difference. Did they force the crucifixion of Christ?
Yeah.
did they? Well,
What do you mean by
forcibly
force?
killed him, but they didn't.
Did they bring about prophecy through forcefully crucifying Christ?
Yes.
Yeah, but
There's your answer.
yes, but I don't. Right, but I don't think they believe that they're bringing about prophecy by killing Jesus. I thought they were just, oh, we're going to kill this heretic in their minds. So
Well, that's how the devil works, is like, think about it. When Satan went to Jesus to tempt him and lead him astray, he quoted scripture, but he massaged it. He quoted it in a way that was a lie. And I think that's a lot of what you see in the modern Jewish faith is, and that's what you see in dispensationalism, is they say, okay, the traditional view of the new Israel, of God's new covenant, the body of Christ, it is the church, it is the circumcision of the spirit, not the body. And then what do? They name their brand new fanfic country the exact same name, and then all these retarded, no offense, all these retarded Southern Baptists hop on board and say, oh, Israel will be rebuilt in a day, just like this nation was, just like this project in the Middle East was. Prophecy fulfilled. And it is a perversion of scripture. So short answer, yes.
Let's let me flesh this out real quick. We'll jump into a couple super chats and we'll say hello to
if
Biggest.
there's somebody else on here, I'll get off. I'm sorry for taking up too much time.
No, dude, you can stick around. Josh has got all night.
If I'm falling asleep during Boomer Talk tomorrow, no problem.
I would just add this. I would say that they don't think they're bringing about the end times. They think they're bringing about the Messiah.
Right.
And I think that's maybe that's a difference that we see. Just like they didn't think that they were crucifying the Messiah, though they did it. Now they're not thinking about they're bringing about the end times, though they probably are to some extent.
So maybe
I think
seeing it unfold.
They're not all
recognizing
thinking
the
that,
patterns.
though, right?
Oh, go ahead.
They're not all thinking they're bringing about the Messiah.
Well, you got to make it a distinction too. Like, it's obviously like the Jews who are also the secular ones. A lot of them are just going along with this because of all this social reinforcement about the Holocaustianity, right?
No,
Holocaustianity.
No. I'll quote the secular Jew that led all of the new atheism, Sam Harris, alluding to the historical Old Testament to establish the should and right of Israel to exist in the land that is Palestine.
Sam Harris is Jewish? I didn't know that.
Are you fucking me right now?
Yeah, but I'm making the distinction between those who are reading from the Babylonian Talmud.
He's the most
Jewish. Guy who
Jewish.
adopted a kid or something like that?
No, Sam Harris is new atheist movement with Richard Dawkins, and I guess you could throw Jordan Peterson in there with the
Truth be told, I know he still
Dave
does.
Smith or something.
I know Sam Harris is still around, but I don't think I've even seen a clip from him since before I started watching Nick Fuentes.
He's still going relatively strong, dude. He resurged not too long ago.
Yeah,
but he's a secular Jew. Him and all of the other ones will, if they haven't already, they will soon utilize the Old Testament, the historical narrative, to drive the point that the Jews ought to have the land in Israel. They have to. That's all they have to stand on. Ask a secular Jew why Jews ought to have Israel.
Well,
they have no answer, and so therefore the default is to go with exactly that.
Like, for example, I think Sam Harris and Netanyahu, I feel pretty confident is a secular, like he's atheist, but he feels so strongly about greater Israel because of Jewish pride. Same with Sam Harris. Jewish pride is a stand-in for the actual religion of Judaism.
Right. Yeah, it's funny. They get to have their tribe, but we don't. We have to be integrated.
Jewish pride is a stand-in for actual Judaism.
What clings Jews together more than that? It's not the faith. You think
That's the point
Sam
I was
Harris
making.
and
You
Ben
think Steinberg's
Shapiro?
quoting the Babylonian Talmud? Like, no. Steiny's not quoting the Babylonian Talmud, but what he's quoting is Zionism. A lot of them are quoting Zionism. A lot of them, I mean, it all gets the same basket. I'm just saying, I don't think every single secular Jew is tied into the Sam, what you were saying, right? The Sam Harris, they're going to be quoting the Old Testament. Steinberg and like the older generations of them grew up in a bit more of a different kind of like digitized versions of this, right? Their worldview is a lot more of like the neo-Nazis, right? It's the slop that's been fed to them from fucking CNN for the last 3.5 years, if not longer, 30 years, if you will. But it doesn't matter, right? But that's the point, is it doesn't matter because they all come to the same conclusion, right? Which is this idea that they have this stake to claim of existence and state that no other group has. And it doesn't really matter like how they get to that, right? What matters is they all share and hold this belief, whether it's broad or narrow.
Right. No, if it came down to it, any Jew would take the state of Israel over America any day. You know, if they were forced to choose, atheist or not.
I think
So,
that's the point.
I agree with that.
I think, well, that's why it needs to be criminalized. Zionism needs criminalized. Judaism needs criminalized. Islam needs criminalized. They all need excised from society. I mean, it's just the simplest solution. They need to not be allowed to be in America, point blank.
No, you know, it's funny. These Fox News boomers, you know, if we told them that our government was invaded by Chinese spies, you know, they'd be up in arms about it. But you know, it's okay if the last name is Stein or Berg or Goldman or whatever. That's okay.
Doing the zoom in function, that's funny.
Yeah,
I mean, it feels
at the
bleak,
end of the
right?
day, it's a monolith, dude. I mean, anybody that denies it, they can find a rope too.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at. Atlas, whoa. Let me grab a couple of the super chats. You can stick around. You don't have to bounce. We're gonna say hey to
I'll
biggest
stick around
in a second. I don't know why it's like this. Here, I'll make it. Let me fix this.
Big enough to read.
There we go. Have you heard of the ship of Theseus paradox? It's about if every part of the ship is replaced, is it still the same ship? Is it still America?
Barely, if at all.
No.
I don't
My
like the
answer is no.
analogy. I know the paradox. I don't like the analogy, actually. I guess this assumes that the place that is being replaced on the ship is the same part. And so if you do it one piece at a time, I would say that it is probably still the same ship. That being said, we aren't replacing Americans with Americans. We're replacing Americans with something else, which would not be the same part of the ship.
Right.
I don't think it's possible to apply the ship of Theseus paradox to American and replacement.
A white steering wheel is different than an Indian steering wheel. White sails are different than brown sails.
Very true.
Well, how functional is South Africa then?
Holy shit.
Whoa! Let me turn you down
What's up?
just
Is
a
that
touch.
biggest?
Go ahead. That was
biggest in there?
stupid loud. All right, he's good. Go ahead.
My bad. I'm out here. I got you on the skinning table, dog.
Nah,
So-
go for it, dude. I saw it a second ago.
The skinning table. Let's go.
Well, you got to peel the skin off a catfish. You don't fillet the skin off. You peel it off with pliers.
You nail his head down first?
No, I just grab that motherfucker. You have to keep the head on until you get the skin off. But you do them while they're alive.
Josh,
Too. That's the benefit of
You ever
catfish.
skin a catfish?
What do you think? I've never been hunting. I hate fishing. I want to go.
Really?
I want to go hunting, but I don't like fishing. I like catching
You don't like
fish. I
fishing,
just don't
you
have the
like hunting
patience.
either. Yeah, if you don't
Fish will
like
beat the
fishing, you
fuck
don't
out
like
of
hunting
you.
either.
I do agree with that. Getting a catfish barb sucks. Same thing with stingrays.
I want to do.
I do all my hunting at HEB.
what is it called? The deadliest game. Like I want to hunt a person. That sounds fun.
You want to hunt homeless people? You can do it here, dog. New Orleans is pretty wild spirited.
Josh, you always sound like
Josh, I feel like you would be
every
the
time
one
make
that's
those comments. It's
hunted
hilarious.
in this situation.
By who?
Somebody with a lot more money.
Yeah, I mean, a lot more.
Kennard.
They'd have to start me with something easy, like I don't know, like a fat Asian woman or Hispanic woman.
Oh man!
All right, let me grab.
Do I get to pick the
Are you in
map?
a car?
It's called urban whaling.
Mark Bendy for 5. He says, "You guys see recent reports that Josh killed Joe Rogan and me mum. The real a-hole behind the scenes."
That's why I'm having such a hard time gaining weight. I keep eating these people whole. I
had
went
a,
to LA and I inhaled Joe Rogan. absorbed his essence.
I had a video on Joe Rogan.
That's one thing
I
that
forgot.
Zeb said that I 100% agree with about,
Thank you.
you know, not trusting Tucker. Especially with what Nick came out like I used to listen to Tucker and Tim Pool religiously up until the election. And, you know, after Nick kind of pulled the cover back on who he really is, I mean, all these guys are interconnected. You know, him, Sean Ryan, Joe Rogan with his handler, Mike Baker. You know, they all have this CIA connection. You know, Joe Kent, they all have the CIA connection between them. So I don't know what, I really don't know what Tucker's endgame is. I mean, every time he speaks about religion, like when he did that interview with Mike Huckabee, he pulled a verse from Genesis or whatever. That doesn't mean anything. You know, every time he talks about religion, it's more on the spiritual side of it, you know, the feel-good side of it. I think he promotes a like Catholic prayer app on his channel, but that's just about it, you know. So I'm not sure like what
Hallows
really
extremely
thinks.
plugged in. It's very Scientology feeling.
Yeah.
That being said,
right,
Atlas,
exactly.
I sent you a video of the retard we did the other day on the circuit and Bustamante. And they were talking about Joe Rogan, and Bustamante was talking about, yeah, Joe Rogan doesn't want me on because I'm CIA or something like that. I was like, that's crazy. Look at his lineup.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he said? Am I delusional?
Yeah.
Here's my question to the CIA involvement thing. Do you think it's because that once you get to a certain level of influence that the CIA seeks you out? So wouldn't there kind of be like an aspect of bad jacketing to it where like of course they know. Wouldn't you do that if you were in control of like the narrative of a nation, like from the intelligence angle? You'd go and you'd talk to these people. Honestly, I think there's factions within the CIA and the intelligence service, personally.
Oh, for sure.
I keep hearing that, man, but I think
make
it's
a
like
show about that.
the Jewish thing, you know, where it's like, oh, you know, you have these Orthodox Jews, you have these atheist Jews, you have, yeah, I think of it as a monolith. So I don't know if that's a bad way to think about it, but I can't trust these people. I don't want to trust them. You know, I don't want to put my faith in someone who was, and by the way, these people, like, yes, the CIA comes to influencers and, you know, gets them to collaborate, but also, like with Tucker, his dad was in the CIA. You know, oh shoot, who's that guy? The Navy SEAL CIA guy? I just forgot his name.
Sean Ryan.
Oh, dang it. Sean Ryan, yeah, Sean Ryan worked for the CIA. You know, these guys all had involved, and I don't know. Tucker tried to get in. You know, we still don't know if he did or not. But all these people have roots there. You know, they could have been approached at a later date, but they're just there from the beginning.
Well, I'm not denying it. There's
as much as I might
back
hear.
and forth.
We got to work with each other a little bit here.
My bad.
No. Go ahead.
I'll let you guys go. Well, like, I understand that there's this back and forth nature between the intelligence services and the media. I get that. Like, I get that it goes back and forth, but it still needs to incorporate outside talent. Like, they probably use it as both a method of containment and a way to keep tracks on people. And like, we can't say that a certain amount of like people's distribution and spread isn't kind of controlled. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why certain people have a certain amount of followers and they have this much talent. It's because of suppression and narrative management. So they'd have to go and like go to these influencers and like pick them up if they can.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm honestly kind of curious what you think, Zeb, because what I couldn't even keep track. I think it was Mitch who said it, but like that's just what I assumed about Joe Rogan is he ascended to this level of popularity, so they went to him. And of course, you know, they're like, and you know, they pay him, he's gullible. I'm sure like they're like, oh, I'm a former CIA agent who's blowing the whistle on everything, and I'm going to talk about anacondas and all kinds of weird shit. And they don't need to like strap him to a machine and like pump his brain full of signals. They can just go to him. Like
the best opposition is controlled opposition.
Cohesiveness is the cheapest way to control
That
somebody
sounded
too.
Jewish. That's the real APAC is on the line, ladies and gentlemen. The real APAC.
Shalom, shalom. It's been a long time. Yep.
What's up, brother?
That's right.
Let me grab these. Let me
around.
grab these super chats real quick. This first one from the real APAC for $0.00. Shalom.
Perfect. That lines up.
Nice, dude. It's obviously.
Let me
fake,
say this
obviously.
about the factions, though, real quick.
Hold
'cause
on.
the
I'll give you factions. Let me. I'm just trying to get through the super chats. The people are paying money. They're paying monies. Look, covered Atlas's face up, so we'll be quiet for a second. Mark said. On a serious note, the true irony, in my opinion, is that Trump is real, not an outright puppet, but that's precisely what led to all this. A real narcissist. Possibly.
To a point.
Atlas, factions.
Who cares?
Well, my point with the factions would be like, what does it matter? Right? Like you hear all this talk all the time about like, well, there's like these factions in the CIA and like there's good guys in there and like, oh, there's like good guys in Border Patrol and like there's good guys in ICE and there's good guys and like, what does it got us?
Good guys in the FBI. Exactly. Right.
It's gotten us nothing, right? Like I just think that that's cope. I don't think there's anybody good in the system. I mean, you got to think about these things too from the perspective of like, what goes in the mindset of somebody who like wants to be in government, right? Like when you think about it, like think back to your high school era, right? Like you think about the annoying, woman who's like, I'm going to be, mayor of that someday. And everyone's like, man, that woman sucks. But that is the person who ultimately ends up with the, the belief in herself who runs for government later on in life. And so I just can't make sense of it. And especially when you look at the Border Patrol over when it was like Biden was in control and you see even Dr. Phil's doing a documentary about how these Border Patrol agents were writing literally with permanent marker the addresses in New York they need to send these 7-year-olds. What are we talking about? Good people in Border Patrol. The good person in Border Patrol would have harmed those men. There would be no more of these guys doing that if there were actually good people in Border Patrol. I just think it's a cope because I think a lot of people don't realize just how bad the average conviction and the element and integrity of the average man is. It's non-existent.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, wasn't Border Patrol also saying that there were planes full of children flying into New York, like every night or something like that? You remember that?
Buses, I know buses were a big thing.
I don't know if it was Border Patrol, but it was someone in government saying that there was just planefuls of children flying in somewhere every night. I mean, that sounds crazy.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I'd believe it. Yeah. So I mean, and these people know exactly what's going on.
They do. Like, I think I know what you're talking about. There was I forgot who the interviewer was, but there was one who was covering child trafficking in the foster care system. It was a TSA. No, it was TSA. It was TSA. It was literally two TSA people. It was two TSA people who were admitting that they were seeing a bunch of planes coming in now and then with kids that are being shoved into white vans. Like you couldn't get more cookie cutter than this, and then being shipped off to a foster care home that we don't really know what happens with those children. There's no follow-up because they go apparently from that foster location to another foster location to another foster location, and the foster home system can't really produce paperwork for these kids because they've been moved around and stuff. I don't know. It's very strange. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's a clusterfuck.
Yeah, you're spot on. And this, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, my thing is, I don't know. We don't know the depth of how deep this information goes, though. Like, these people, like, how widespread is the knowledge that they're committing these crimes for, like, their constituents to even be able to hold them accountable? You know what I mean? Like, and the factions will matter in a situation where the incompetence gets to the level where the system starts to collapse. Because that's where, like, new power hierarchies will metastasize and come from. These factions that exist.
Well, it matters when it benefits them. So if they see that the writing's on the wall, they'll be like, uh-oh, here comes the right-wing militia. Yeah, we're with you guys. We've been with you from the start. We've been working on the inside. It's like, yeah, no, you haven't. A new America gets formed. These same people are in there, who said they were cheering you on from the sidelines, and they do the same thing all over again. Yeah, I mean,
I got something on the foster kids in a second. Rex Crassus says, thoughts on Austin Pickard and the Underclass podcast. I would love to see him on the show. He makes very in-depth content. Last super chat for a while. I appreciate it, Rex. Also, Rex is also running. I don't think I have it linked in the description here, but it's on my videos. I think Atlas has it too. They're doing the 3D printing and the metal cutout stuff, so y'all go support them. What's it in Athenor? I can't pronounce it.
Athenor Metallurgy.
Athenor Metallurgy. There you go, Atlas. Actually, I do have some.
It's if you want to go to the website, it's Athenor, ATHANOR LLC.com.
Dude, yours looks good, man.
Party.
Yeah, go check out their website. I'll put a link to that in the description. I'm not familiar with the Underclass podcast. I don't think. Am I? Let me Google it.
If I have to commit one more podcast to my daily watch, I'm gonna my head is it's gonna be like that woman from Indiana Jones 4. Like fire's gonna shit out of my eyes and I'm gonna explode.
Dude, I'm a truck driver, and I told you that before the election, all I was watching was Tucker Carlson and Tim Pool and Joe Rogan. I was gonna put a gun to my head, dude. I was done at the end of all that.
Yeah,
so I feel you.
Total sidebar before we move on. Before we move on, you said you're a truck driver. Have you considered getting a Sprinter van?
No.
I hear that's more profitable.
I mean, I have a hazmat endorsement, so I make a.
Okay, you're fine then.
Average.
Never mind.
G, yeah.
I thought you meant to live in.
But
I've lived in a van.
No, to use. Because now the Jeeps are taking over the semis.
Like minivan, children. I don't know. It was not good. I was like, "What's he getting at?"
Oh, the foster kids. I was going to mention the foster kids.
That's correct. Well, I guess we are talking about. We did just talk about like child sex planes. So,
listen, have y'all looked into the incubator babies? Have y'all looked into the incubator babies of the World's Fairs?
I got 3 in my home right now.
Speaking of incubator babies, do you guys know that the IDF has a cum squad?
Hold on. Hold on. Giving or receiving?
Legendary.
For the general audience, you guys are familiar with maybe like 40K and Space Marines and Gene Seed or whatever. So I know, super nerdy. So the IDF has contracts with fertility clinics in Israel whose sole purpose, they have squads whose sole purpose is to find downed IDF soldiers and extract their seed and reserve it for in vitro fertilization.
That's fucking base.
That is some
That's
40K
fucking
shit.
awesome as fuck.
Yo, if I were the IDF, I'd be all over that battlefield. Medic.
So they literally go find dead IDF soldiers and they extract their seed, and they actually have a preference of Ashkenazi, Sephardic, Mizrahi, and they don't even include the Beta Israelites because they're
all right
sterilized anyways.
Do they have like syringes, or do they have to do it the old-fashioned way?
I'm not entirely sure what their process is, but they collect.
Netanyahu, hold on. Let me tap in. Oh, a little too much.
Yeah, can you talk to your father?
I found that out the other day. I was like, what the heck?
You said they have preference. How do they are they labeled?
No.
And how would that label work? Are they tattooed?
You know how your race is, Zeb?
They lift up their eyelids and see their serial numbers.
There's a caste, not a caste system, but there is a social hierarchy. There's a social hierarchy in Israel in which Ashkenazis are seen as true Israelites, and then they kind of have second-class citizenship to the Sephardics, who are the Spanish ones, like me, and then the Mizrahi are the Arab Jews, the Jews that. Josh, you remember the old lore. Anyways, the Mizrahi Jews.
You're actually Jewish? I thought that was a joke.
Yeah, he's actually Jewish.
No, dude. I am.
He's Catholic.
I'm Roman Catholic.
Jew.
Somebody kill this guy.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Infiltrated.
But
we love our Spanish Jews.
Dude, I'm doing the salute right now.
Let's go.
But what I was gonna say is that no, there is a social hierarchy in Israel in which Ashkenaz, like Netanyahu and those Eastern European mutts, are seen as true Jews, and then the Sephardics, the second class, because they're white adjacent, or as adjacent to them as they are, and then the Mizrahi, the Arab Jews, which they're considered like brown people, and then they have the Beta Israelites, who are black Jews from Ethiopia that moved to Israel. But in the first immigration waves, they were actually sterilized by the Israeli government.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Wish we had that here for white people.
Well, that would be funny. Is just replace all of. We'll just go to the sperm banks and just replace all of it with Hitler's, I guess.
Definitely not ours, Josh.
No. We have to hinder the Antichrist.
I've got a question, actually. Do you think the racial hierarchy of South Africa kept it viable as a functional nation for longer?
That was the only reason why it was a viable nation.
Absolutely.
Okay, that was pretty much the question.
The racial hierarchy kept South Africa prosperous for so long.
How can we expect a society that for less than 100 years didn't know what short of 100 years from when they were colonized, they didn't know what the wheel was? And then you're throwing cars and planes and ships and democracy and theology and philosophy at them. Like, they were cannibals. Do you expect them to be functional? Like, no.
Well, that's how I view the mass migration issue, though. So, like, how do we plan politically for a world where our type of politics and thought are the minority?
You're cooked. That's the thing. That, like, our demographics are cooked, and we will have to take very radical steps to actually survive as a nation.
Then wouldn't the best option be to like become an organized minority and then like kind of like fortress build around white states, as opposed to like trying to win some type of national sentiment?
I think you can talk.
Well, you'll have to first identify
black spaces.
Yeah, get rid of some people.
And you know what? And that might be for the better. It doesn't even have to be like, the white states of America, but like in the United States, should practice a level of segregation, and I mean on a territorial level, like give blacks their little swamps because they're more used to it. Give Spics, the desert, they're more used to it. Give whites the more temperates because that's where we're from. But like,
that's kind of where I've been for a while. I've thought to always give Black America, essentially Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi.
Right. I mean, it's
where the majority lives.
They'll have their Cajun fried chicken and their watermelon in abundance down there if they know how to harvest it.
I'm ethnically a Cajun, so like that's me giving up my culture and my home essentially for like the betterment of my race and my civilization.
Yeah, and I mean, I flashed the Sephardic card to troll, the Jewish mutts. I'm Catholic and I'm American first, so. I think that that's another thing too. Yes, race is an important thing, but culture is, I think, even more important because that is what gives form to who we are. I mean, we could take ZebBoykin's kin and throw them into the jungle, and eventually they degenerate. They'll probably be the chiefs of whatever jungle you throw them in, but they'll still be degenerates because they would have lost their formation, their culture.
But do you think our culture can be transmissible to outside groups, into any group is the thing? Like, I don't see...
I'm married to black people are monkeys.
Well, no. I'm married to a Palestinian. So, like, I know a shit ton of Arabs. Like, or half Palestinian, let's be real. But, like, I know a shit ton of Arabs. These people will never integrate, ever. Like, ever. And, like, I live in New Orleans. Black people don't integrate now, and they've been here for, like, 400 years. This is like almost the same amount of time as us. They will never integrate. It's not transmissible.
They will not, because they don't
They had to shut down the
love
Houston rodeo
where they
because of all
are.
the Katrina implants.
I think it's a biological thing, man. I don't think that they have the mental architecture the same way we do to be able to integrate into a society like ours. I think like some other people do, like high Middle Easterners, like Iranians, some Syrians, some like Levantine Arabs, and then East Asians maybe. But like it's just not transmissible to these other groups. And you can't really have a functional society long term with this kind of a situation.
Yeah, I agree with you actually to a great extent. I think especially I would say populations have gone through a lot of stress. If you look at certain like Southern Slavs and Palestinians and whatnot, like absolutely, I think those people are pretty
we gotta
shell-shocked.
cull the field here a little bit.
Uh-oh,
Who's been here the longest? Mitch, we appreciate it, but we got like 8 people in the thing. We gotta cull the field here a little bit.
We let you go, boys.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
No, dude, I appreciate you for calling in.
I'll hop off too, guys.
Yeah,
I was just the last thing I wanted to ask Zeb was, do you think that white people would get minority rights?
No, they won't.
No, they're going to kill us.
Amalek.
Never.
We're Esau. See, like that's funny. Like here I am saying I'm a Sephardic Jew, and I'm saying no, we are, we are Amalek. We are Esau.
Damn right.
Well, I mean,
the difference is I'm a fake Jew. I'm actually not Jewish.
Well, that's where that's kind of where Stonechoir
right.
is at. Is that if you're a Jew, the only way to essentially become a Christian is to deny all of it. And I think I'm there too.
Yeah, because like, I mean, to be honest, I mean, there is even the Jews that say that they're Jews today. They're not Jews. I mean, we've had this conversation before. They're just imposters. They're just a permutation of the rabbinic Judaism of the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
Ginger Anagram getting here for the first time. Let me grab this super chat and
reporting live from someone's pocket.
Then we can pick up again. Yeah, Rex, I'll check out the Underclass podcast. I don't remember. Maybe he mentioned it to me. Maybe he didn't. I can't remember exactly. Mark said, "I'm from the Philly area and live where Netanyahu grew up." Netanyahu grew up. All 3 types of Jews share the same core facial templates.
Did Netanyahu grow up in
Yeah,
Philadelphia?
He went to college in Philly. I know.
Who's eating their phone?
Ginger Anagram.
Ginger Anagram.
Yeah, my retard dog was biting my phone. My bad, boys.
His dog was biting.
Dog ate my homework. Dog ate my
Jay, she's right
device.
here. I ain't lying.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So what's going on, boys? I just want to say thanks for everything you guys are doing. The only people with any fucking credibility left. But I mentioned this to Atlas maybe about a week or 2 ago. I think the numbers of casualties or even just injuries is probably a lot higher than they're telling us for no reason other than Trump's ego. I mean, they deported like 200,000 people and they were posting hype edits like they had done the best thing fucking ever. He brags about everything. They're putting all these cringe ass memes up. I haven't seen a piece of footage in the last couple of weeks that wasn't out immediately. And I think the fact that they're just holding all that, and I mean, obviously in Israel it's illegal because, of course, Jews. But the rest of the world, look at the war in Iraq and the war on terror. We saw nothing but just coverage constantly, 24 hours a day. So just wondering what you guys' opinions on that.
The cheat code is to search things up in Gemini, type in, whatever, like I want to see bombings and type, and then have it translated to Farsi, to Arabic, to Hebrew. And then you'll find stuff on Twitter easily. There's so many videos that you can find from cluster bombings and torchings and stuff like that. It's disgusting. It's terrible. The one thing I haven't found yet is anything to do with the aircraft carriers. I mean, we have one of our aircraft carriers actually fleeing the area and heading towards Crete for repairs because of a quote-unquote large fire that broke out.
Well, if you trust the Iranian sources, they hit one of those carriers with 4 cruise missiles.
Go again, Atlas.
Sorry.
It was Iranian reporting was that they had launched, I think it was like 4 cruise missiles. I can't remember which carrier it was, but they say that they did strike one of the carriers with the cruise missile. That's from international Iranian reporting. I think that's from a couple of days ago, actually.
Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah.
It depends on who you trust.
Yeah. That's nothing too. Like there's BS on both sides, right? I mean, you saw some of the Iranian AI videos. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them were posting World of Warships or War Thunder clips. I'm not entirely sure what that was about. So
the rallying the people. That's what that's about.
I mean, Grok is also, or not Grok, X and Elon have also shut down essentially entirely the translation situation from Hebrew to English, or at least the auto translate. So
yeah,
they're controlling it, dude. Somebody said Abraham Lincoln.
Pull up, pull that one up. History repeats itself.
Yes. I keep getting him confused between the
irony.
Gerald and the Lincoln.
The irony of it all would be that he was shot by one of his own.
I was gonna say, I was imagining them like writing John Wilkes Booth on all the missiles they shoot at it or something.
The USS Lincoln was the first aircraft carrier. We did I did security on it, and we did like refuel defuels. It just got new.
We got.
I just it just got new fuel. That's what we were doing there. So that was what, 6 years ago, and that those nuclear rods can run a ship for like 60 years.
But it was scheduled to be decommissioned, I think, next year or late this year.
Was it?
Rods.
Positive. It was like very, very close. That's why the people threw the false flag things up immediately when Abraham Lincoln was scheduled to set out to the Middle East, because it was so close to its decommission schedule.
Well, I was on the Wasp, and they decommissioned that after we got back, and that ship was miserable to be on. So whoever's on the Lincoln
was
good luck, dude.
the Lincoln. You mean it's like the oldest one out there?
Yeah, it's the first aircraft carrier created. They're Lincoln class carriers.
Oh,
so a class is named
Lincoln
after
class. Is that what the Yorktown is?
No, the Yorktown would be smaller.
Okay, so it's the first of it. Like,
Yorktown
I see.
Yorktown is a battleship, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
It's an aircraft. The one in Charleston.
No,
that's the Yorktown.
Yorktown is not a carrier. It's not a carrier class. It's not. It
shoots airplanes off of it. I don't.
Yeah.
You're the man.
Well, aircraft carrier. If I'm not mistaken, all aircraft carriers are nuclear fueled. And their capacity is like substantially greater than all the others. I was on the USS Wasp, which is an LHD, which is essentially one class lower than aircraft carriers. But like if you just looked at it, Nimitz class, if you just looked at it, it would be like, that's an aircraft carrier, but it's not. It's substantially smaller.
Yeah, aircraft carriers.
Like the size of these carriers are mind blowing. Like they're literally floating cities.
Yep.
Isn't the crew like 5,000 people on board, or is it more actually?
Yeah, we were pushing 35 to 4,000 on ours. So I'm sure they're pushing 5 to 6.
Wow.
If we get into like a Mad Max type apocalypse, I say we grab one of those up and we'll like plant grass on the deck. We'll have like our little suburban neighborhood out on the deck of it, and we'll just sail the seas. That's how we'll spend the end days.
We won't make it out of this.
What about the women?
Bay.
Probably not. It's a big wheel.
You don't think they probably go like rogue or something and essentially become like pirates, like raiding for resources and fuel and shit?
Go water world on this thing?
Hell yeah, dude.
Wait, I did have a question regarding the Iran war thing, though. How much of this do you think plays into the Greater Israel Project, where you have to dismantle U.S. presence in the Middle East for Israel to take over as the hegemon?
Sure.
I mean, it's happening simultaneously right now.
But like, how much of it is the point? Like how like they've gotten the U.S. into a protracted war where we can't really pull out, and at the same time they're trying to pull out actively.
Well, from my understanding, is our military presence in the Middle East is essentially gone right now. Like not like our presence on our military bases in the Middle East just aren't there. So I guess to your point, I mean, it's already essentially happened.
Okay,
I don't know what priority that is. Huh?
My Jew magic crystal
so
ball
that part has been
says-
accomplished.
You're thinking of
My
like
Jew
what
magic
all the
crystal
military
ball
outposts
thinks
and
this will be-
bases between like Bahrain and Kuwait and Erbil and Iraqi Kurdistan. I mean, those are already all being like obliterated right now. I mean, we're getting RN updates every other hour of like, this one was Bahrain was struck. They might just evacuate just based on the fact that they're not going to come back in and fix all of them. That might be the reasoning, right? We don't want to invest another $3.5 billion to fix all these bases. We're just going to turn them over.
Wouldn't that be like to the exact benefit of Israel? Like, isn't that Israel getting its like what it wanted from the war? Like, can it take over those military positions now that the U.S. isn't acting as like a hegemon in the region, essentially?
I think there's this idea that like once Israel becomes greater Israel and is a hegemonic, like they're basically the world power, that they will abandon the United States. That's not how it's going to happen. They will maintain, just as like with England and the city of London, like they will maintain their power and stronghold over all other nations.
I understand that they're going to continue to skin suit the world. What I mean, though, is that,
Right.
like, hasn't that been, like, an achieved goal for them at this point, then? Because if there's no U.S., there's nobody, like, kind of tamp down on them, harass in Lebanon and other places, even though we don't really do that anymore. We used to. Like, we used to be a pressure against Israel to, like, not harass its neighbors so much. Once we're gone, won't they have, like, the ability to expand as much as they choose to or are able to in conflict with the Arab nations surrounding them?
I mean, they're kind of doing it right now.
Yeah,
but
it's
at
a
really
distinction
slow
without a
rate.
difference.
I get your question. I think the answer. I'm trying to think. They're one of the few nations that isn't essentially cargo cult that has that isn't basically cut off at the bottom with infertility, and so they're continuously growing like exponentially, and so they could end up attempting to populate what we perceive greater Israel, or what they perceive greater Israel, like sooner than later. I mean, I don't know the direct answer to your question, huh?
Well, I understand now. It was basically a relevancy thing. It's not really relevant. They're doing it regardless. It's like it's not even the primary function of what they're doing.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to say it. It's like tertiary. It's like, I don't think it really is ultimately like a linchpin in any kind of operation, really, or or they would see another way to get around it, if you will.
Well, I'm gonna let somebody else hop in. I'm gonna go run to the gas station, boys. Y'all have a good time. I'll be back.
All right, brother.
Peace out,
Appreciate it, dude.
I guess I'm just trying to think what that looks like on a time scale. And I don't know. That would have to be like extremely, like that would be a slow roll to get to convert into, to convert US into greater, or sorry, Israel into greater Israel.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, as much as we share joint operations, right? It's like on a monthly basis, we have joint training operations, right? Sure, the IDF is
Unless we
pretty familiar with our
have,
stuff.
unless we have a major aliyah, in which maybe because there live more Jews outside of Israel than they do in Israel itself. So unless something major happens in the United States, which has the most Jews in the world, I think, and Europe, like they're going to stay here. So unless we have a major civil upheaval here and in Europe, that the Jews feel that they're so unsafe there that they'll move in great numbers to Israel. In the short term, that's not a factor. Like we're not going to see Jews populating Syria and Lebanon and stuff like that.
Yeah, not until it's former Syria.
Do you think they leverage anti-Semitism to then fund their fleet? They're fleeing to Greater
They're
Israel?
fleeing, yeah. They did it in Iraq. I don't know if you looked into it, but one of the major aliyahs that happened in the Middle East to have Arab Jews come to Israel, and that's when you had an enormous population boom in Israel, was that they actually perpetrated terrorist attacks on Jewish Arabs in Iraq and pinned it on the Muslim population there. And there was a big kerfuffle, even internationally, over like, whoa, like, because I think they actually caught one of the Mossad guys, and he kind of spilled the beans. But by then, I think enough Jews were scared that they actually contributed a good portion of the population to Israel. And this happened not just in Iraq, but also in the North African states like Morocco and Algeria and Tunisia and all that stuff. So I just simply I can see something like that happening, but it would have to be so radical and so impressive. That's why I kind of
it happened in Germany too, though.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it happened in Germany. That's right. I mean, look at all the Muslims that live in Europe. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that that can facilitate that. Look at the civil unrest we're seeing here. Not here necessarily, not civil unrest, but look at our quote unquote anti-Semitism that's growing in the United States. I wonder how much of that is astroturfed. I mean, Tucker Carlson
sure.
all of a sudden is like, oh yeah, Israel is bad, and you have, I don't know what other personalities I can think of. Maybe Nick Fuentes to a certain extent, but
Dave Smith
animosity towards Dave Smith, all this animosity against the Jew. I wonder how much of that will.
Aiden
Although
Ross.
he's shilling for the Israeli war right now, but yeah, like that can contribute to a potential aliyah that will happen again, that will expand the population.
I mean, I could do this all day long. The anti-Semitism is 1,000% either astroturfed or intentional, and being accelerated intentionally. I don't think that's in a question. I think the question I have, maybe you have an answer, maybe you don't. I don't know. Is what is the purpose, or what do they see a benefit in collectivizing within a singular area when they are more powerful, spread out, and nomadic?
I think this is where you kind of get into
the religious,
the subcategory. Yeah. Where I think like a Benjamin Netanyahu may not want Jews to like the Larry Ellisons of the world to just pick up their bags and come to Israel. The religious Jews like Ben Shapiro might, and maybe that might be a conflict from within. I feel like this is coming from a place of, because looking back at history, we've seen all of the Jewish successes in overthrowing the monarchies and starting the great wars, in winning the great wars, you know what I mean? Establishing their own state. It's all worked out for them so much. It's easy to look back in hindsight and see the master plan. But we also have to acknowledge that, A, there's demonic influence, and B, in their minds, it's not like they had this step-by-step planned out from the beginning as it turned out. They had to go with the flow. There was ebbs and punches. There is an element of figuring it out as they go. So if it comes to the point
right now.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Because now is their time to actually step in, because now they have America by the balls, because they have so many people on perhaps the Epstein files. They have so many stupid evangelicals duped into thinking that it's a biblical thing. that they have to squeeze, and the boomers, they have to squeeze it out as much as possible because this next generation of predominantly quote unquote traditional Protestant and Orthodox and Catholics, they hate on a political level this Zionism. And so they will not get any support afterwards. But to your point, Josh and Zeb, about this religious subcategory, even for people like Netanyahu and these so-called secular Jews, there's still a mentality of hedging your bets, even for this supposed atheist, because if you even look at some of the rabbinic stories, it allows a wiggle room for a pragmatic, materialistic approach. In fact, if you look at a lot of the rabbinic development of the Talmud, it leans itself more and more to a materialistic application of the religion. You have stories where they think that they can fool God by keeping the Sabbath, because in the Sabbath they're not allowed to leave the home. But a rabbi said that if you tie a string to the inside of the entrance of the house and bring it around the city, you're still within your house if you walk around the city, because the string loops around back to your house. Okay, so you have that mentality. And even if Netanyahu might say that he's a secular, no, not really. He's more than happy. I mean, look at his recent statement. He says that we will endure until the Moshiach comes. Why is a secular leader talking like that? If not because he actually believes some of it or sees it as a pragmatic application.
Well, I think he says it for the same reason Trump says we're going to put the Christ back in Christmas, because he's the leader of a country. It's not quite democratic, but it is democratic. You know what I mean? He's
Sure,
got to
it's
be
popular.
a leader.
I get. Is your position that there are no actually atheistic Jews?
I
Because I think I would ride that fence.
I think there are very few, and for the Jew, I would say that there are no religious Jews. Let's put it that way. There are no religious Jews, because at this point, if you are of Jewish blood, they would consider it. If you are of Jewish blood, you are a Jew, and you have to participate in this, and you have to be a part of us. Otherwise, you're outside of the covenant. You're outside of what they interpret as the promise. So for them, it's blood. It's blood. It's not a concept. It's not a creed adherence necessarily, because they themselves say, like, oh, is your mother Jewish? Then you're Jewish, right? For them, it's a blood thing, not so much a creedal thing.
Yeah.
That's why I could literally I could put on a yarmulke, walk to Israel, and they'll be like, oh, shalom, brother, shalom, brother. And that could be like, I don't know, doing graffiti on the wall.
Could you go to the bank and get some funding for NAV?
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. I think I might have told it on stream, but like when I was in high school, I got surrounded by a bunch of Iranian guys thinking that I was Jewish. That's how Jewish I look. They wanted to kill me, bro. They wanted to kill me, and I told them, no, I'm Roman Catholic, and they're like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then I learned some Persian, and they thought I was Persian.
I don't know, dude. Josh got reposted by some major Jew accounts, dude, that thought he was Jewish. So
I know, isn't it great?
I think we got a little competition.
You said it yourself.
Here.
I remember you said it yourself that
I was letting my hair.
That Jews are not so white presenting that they can't hide it.
I intentionally let the humidity kind of have its way with my hair that day, so it would be as curly as possible. And I wore that blue and white shirt, so it would be Jewish.
No,
and
I have it beat.
I think we talked about how I think Charlie knew.
I have you beat.
Yeah.
Josh.
Speaking of Charlie and speaking of Charlie and the Iran war, I think there's a direct line from, and I think Ro tweeted this out earlier or a while back, and somebody retweeted it. There's a direct line between Charlie's assassination and the Iran war, what's happening right now, and the Epstein files, and I would say with Nick, what's the stupid face, Minnesota Nick,
Surely.
Somalis, Surely.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think killing Charlie kicked something off. I don't know what that is yet, but it kicked everything off. Also, I was going to do a video today. I didn't have time. I don't have proof of a second shot, but I'm going to lay out where my position is on the second shot.
Okay.
Nice.
I have a question for you, Zeb. Total sidebar. Do you think Hitler's in hell?
I don't think so, dude.
You think he was Christian?
Yes. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he is.
Well, if the story is true that he blew his brains out, I mean, that puts a damper on that hope. But one can.
Well, he's obviously in Argentina, so.
Oh, that's true though.
He's
Senor Hilter.
He's in cryo sleep next to Walt Disney.
He's in a Garth.
Yeah.
Somebody said yeah, he's in apartheid.
He's in the astral plane talking to Candace Owens.
Funny. It auto corrected to apartheid instead of Agartha. That's funny too.
Agartha, yeah.
Yeah, Agartha. He comes from a land down under.
I said, do you speak my language?
AI and Biggest says no. I'll say this. I'll say the people that play him as Satan are more than likely, I think he's more likely than them.
Well, obviously, I'm just kind of getting at it because it's like, for example, when Nick says he admires Stalin, but he thinks Stalin was still a bad guy, like, I can admit, like, I don't love absolutely everything about Hitler, and I've not seen anything that really convinced me he was actually Christian.
The Zoomer historian red pilled me on Hitler. I was mind blown by all this stuff that I didn't know.
No, he was definitely Christian. The question is,
the Dunkirk thing blew my mind when I first learned about it, and like the AI translated speeches.
Mm-hmm.
You think he's like, these fucking Jews, but he's like, these British bastards keep lying to us.
Yeah, no, and he was funny. I love his speech about how the other countries weren't accepting the Jews, and he's like, oh, why don't they accept them? We who are so willing to give them these wonderful people. I was like, holy, that's pretty good.
That's funny.
I mean, I haven't done the dive into Hitler that I probably should. And I've said this before on my show, is like I don't hold Hitler on a pedestal like most people do. I don't think I need Hitler to get to the position that Hitler got to. I think,
so you want to be Hitler? You want to be the new Hitler?
Well, I think a lot of great Americans got to the Hitler position before Hitler did. It just wasn't implemented.
That is true. We did put the natives on reservations, didn't we?
I think you're referring to Henry Ford.
I have a lot of them. Henry Ford beating me as one. Yeah, sure.
No.
I mean, I would go back and
Henry Ford's wife involved.
He had some good ideas and some genuine concern for the nation. But by the end of it, though, he was so hopped up on drugs that I think he was losing his mind. Like, he was literally tweaking out at the Olympics. Like, you could see him just tweaking out.
Oh, yeah.
Hitler
well,
or Henry?
Yeah.
Hitler.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I mean, well, he was definitely what would they call it? Biohacking. A couple of years ago, it was called biohacking. He was definitely biohacking.
He was the OG clavicular. He was trying to max.
Somebody said that video is highly edited. I don't think it's edited. I think it's just sped up. But regardless of if it's sped up or not, he's definitely he had the tism. He was stimming. That's all he was doing. He was just stimming.
Also, he had a lot on his mind. He had a lot on his plate. I don't know if you know the history, but he had to deal with a lot of stuff.
Today I declared war against Germany, man.
He wasn't tweaking any harder than Kash Patel was tweaking at the Olympics. Okay, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Can we call it even? Okay.
Deport him. Deport Kash Patel.
That's Atlas's line.
He's a disgrace. Yeah, deport him, dude. Yeah, deport him. I want worse than that at this point. That's kind of old news now.
Okay,
I'll go
thank
way
you. I'm
beyond
not
it.
the
Hit the
only
road.
one. I'm not the only one. I've been telling my family, I'm like, all these people in this admin, they need to be, and not just this admin, but like the Democrats and the Republicans, round them up, try them if we have time, and then give them a traitor's recompense, because that's what they deserve.
A proper country would get the influencers too. I'd take.
That's
the
true.
whole shelf
That
roll
is
out,
true. Laura Loomer is at the top of my list.
And not only that, I like Jim from Florence, aka PD Milkman. He's been in a couple of the chats. He goes hard against the boomers, and I remember we were doing that a lot at first. The boomers are evil. They are irredeemable bastards, and trust me, dude.
They're not.
Maybe your parents are fine. Maybe your grandma is, but like, dude, you would not
As a generality,
believe the shit that these people say.
I actually will concede that to you. I will concede that to you because, yes, you're right. They were bred into avarice and complacency and overindulgence.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter why they're the way that they are. It's that they are the way that they are, and they have no interest in changing.
Yes.
So Michael
I do agree with
Spangler
you.
and
I take it back.
Bendel Wary had a great point on this actually, and so I can't remember the verse off the top of my head, but Michael Spangler quoted this verse that talked about how even Jesus pointed to learning from the Pharisees. Right, you can learn good things from not good people, and then Bendel Wary kind of gave the opposite spin, which is, a lot of what he believes was built from people who he learned from who now hate him, which is this idea of like, I'm doing exactly what I was taught to, which is fight for truth, fight for myself, search for these things. And the very people who told me to do this are now the ones screaming at the top of their lungs telling me to stop. So it's like, there's a lot of these things that kind of go in there that's intergenerational, but I would agree with Josh. Yeah, I think the boomers are, on a generality, like are probably one of the most evil generations to have ever existed.
No, you guys are actually absolutely right. Who gave us divorce on demand? Who gave us contraception? Who gave us abortifacients? Who gave us abortion? Who gave us euthanasia? Who gave us mortgage rates at 6.8% or higher? I don't know. Who's giving us these wars? Who's the one that's happy to see their sons go to war?
Well, I had to basically summarize all this in like 5 minutes on a show Friday.
You did good, by the way.
Did I?
Yeah, I mean, in 5 minutes, yeah. But I saw that.
He was like, yeah. Zeb talks about politics and the boomer, and he doesn't really like the boomer. So I'm like, tell him why you don't like the boomer. I was like, oh god, dude, I gotta cram 48 hours of content into 5 minutes. I said, all right, ready, set, go, and I went. And I think one of the pushbacks I got was like inflation. I was like, okay, dude. I mean, I can unpack that if I need to, but anyway, I had to do that all in 5 minutes. It'll probably come up again Friday. This is more of a local show that we do, and I guess I am just that guy now.
By the way, this is kind of an inside thing, so just bear with me and Zeb here. But did you hear that Ken got young boyed today? I
don't know.
He was talking about how everyone's been saying, Iran started the war, and he brought up how we implemented the Shah, so really, and we wouldn't extradite him.
Dude,
so
he
we were
was
kind of
reading off of an AI summary.
He absolutely was. But then this older guy came in who was in his 80s, and he was like, well, while you were a kid when that happened, I was in the military. So a 60-year-old man is getting young boyed by 80-year-old people with phones. Dude.
Listen here, boy.
Insane. Yeah, literally.
I was there when it happened. I was old enough to understand what was going on and keep up with it.
And he called him on. He's like, how do you have an informed opinion? He was like, I saw it on TV, is what he said.
I text Josh immediately after. It was like, I text Josh, I said, my TV man told me. No, my TV man told me. It's like, you're doing it.
That's how
you're
it
doing
was
it
before the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Walter Cronkite.
Incredible.
All right, APAC. I'm gonna boot you here in a second. We're probably gonna close up.
Oh, I see how
Any
it is.
last
You're gonna
any
show at me,
last
huh?
words?
You're gonna terminate me, huh? That's how it is. This anti-Semitism. You're just gonna kick me
Gas
off
chambers that
because
way,
I'm
boy.
Jewish.
Yeah, you're going to
You're
prison under
censoring me. I
Farah.
feel so attacked. Someone please
I was
call
trying to
Laura
find.
Loomer. Call Mark
I was trying to
Levin.
find something to make a
Someone
joke
please
with,
help
but
me. They're silencing me.
Summon your Spanish DNA and take it in stride.
Okay, I will say this in Spanish. Jódete. Jódete.
¿Cuántos años tienes?
Oh, of course you would know that one. Of course you
I
would know
actually
that
don't.
one.
I don't know what that means. I remember it from school.
You're
but
asking
I
how
forgot
old
what
you are.
Oh, yeah, that's my go-to. As soon as I get off the plane in Colombia, you don't have to ask there.
Did you play a role in The Sound of Freedom? Were you one of the background guys in Colombia trying to buy the kids?
That's funny.
No comment.
No comment.
I'll refer you to my lawyer.
Shalom, guys. All jokes aside, I've been
Shabbat
keeping up
shalom.
with you guys from
Toss the
afar.
phone. Daddy's home.
God bless you, boys. I'm praying for you.
We appreciate JPEG.
Appreciate it, man.
Have a good night, brother.
Good call.
I kicked him. Maybe a little premature there. It's okay. All right. Any questions before we start closing up, chat? Dude, Mark killing it tonight. Thank you, Mark, for the 2. We had pinup girls in World War II. Evil. Priceless King.
I don't know what that is.
Pinup girls?
Is that like a concubine for soldiers?
Pinup girls usually is more an allusion to like posters and propaganda of women in scantily clad.
Okay, like
attractive.
What they put on the planes and stuff. Them like
was it Betty Bop? Is that one of them? A blonde chick? Like, yeah, they would put it on planes. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
But it would be on like propaganda posters and stuff too. I'm not like super against pinup girls. Maybe that's a bad take, but like it's still relatively classy to an extent. Maybe that's just like a modernist view looking back. I guess back then it would be relatively
like a slippery slope type thing.
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I might need to think that one out a little bit more. Just cartoon calendar porn.
Or we could just have shorter deployments.
Yeah. That too.
Listen, dude, don't get me wrong. I'll go back to 1850s like in a second. Give me a genie right now. Everybody go. Real Apex says it'll take. I said maybe. Give me a second to think through. I just
I'd be there with you.
maybe it's the nostalgic aspect. Maybe it just brings like a little nostalgia, and I'm blinded by it.
40s porn is much more tasteful than 2020s porn, I guess. To take.
Is it?
That's what they're kind of implying, is it not?
I don't know. Zeb, are you backing off from your ban all the things positions?
Oh, W take from Smiley Balls. I wish we didn't need one.
Be a lot simpler.
That's a good question. That's something I'll have to play with.
Can the classroom?
I'll stick with ban all the things right now.
What'd you say, Atlas?
Who stopped Henry Ford?
The Dodge Brothers. Dodge Brothers.
No.
I don't know about his wife. You have to fill me in on that.
Do what?
That's who stopped him. Henry Ford was getting it to the point where he was getting his car ran off the road. And it was like I don't know if it's the first or second time. It was his wife who pulled him back. It was his wife who told him, you need to stop doing this. So he packed it all in.
I'd have to read up on it a bit more, but all of his everything started going downhill in 1914 when he started paying his employees double, and then he added another unit, and then he added another unit the next year up until 1919. And the Dodge brothers filed a lawsuit essentially saying that he was paying his employees too much and he was shorting the stakeholders of his company, and they won the lawsuit. And so he had to start paying his employees significantly less. And so before companies started going down, they started losing finances.
Yeah. But they also, I mean, like, right, like he had the book that he had published. I'm trying to remember the name of it. They had also, I can't remember who had sued. Yeah. They eventually got it off of the market, I do believe. Eventually, it wasn't successful the first time around. But there was other things that had happened to him too. The one I remember specifically is them running him off the road. And that was the one that for his wife was like, she's done. Like she was like, I'm not even going to do this with you anymore. If you don't like stop, this is too dangerous.
I need to look into that.
What a bitch.
Remember that.
Yeah, there's a good you can find a good dissertation on Henry Ford on the Oons Review. I believe that's where I read most of where I was reading about Henry Ford.
I'll check that out.
JR for 5. Get Zeb a Celsius to keep the stream going. Dude, I haven't had a Celsius today.
Yo, Ubermensch Zeb.
Dude, I've been pretty clean lately, dude. Especially when I was sick. I didn't eat anything. I got down to 239, dude. That's impressive for me.
Dang. Let's go.
That's what you're up to now?
I'm probably like 245 right now. Probably like 240. 243.
Nice.
I lost like 6 pounds of water weight. Maybe more than that.
Nice.
But yeah. Well, somebody asked a question here a second ago. Biggest, I'm driving, but what's the direction forward? Committing to ethno-nationalism and playing the minority games as the country decays. Around us are attempt civic nationalism and continuity of the democracy. Definitely no to that last part. I mean, my position is civic nationalism. Like if you compromise to civic nationalism, then you compromise everything. So whatever flows from that is irrelevant. If you compromise on the civic nationalist position, then like nothing else matters. We're just right back where we started, which is what's even the point for fighting for it at that point then. That's my position, but I'm sure those two have a slightly disagreeing points.
I guess the idea would be, so how are we going to get the ethno state, right? That's always where my stop comes in from. You take the boomers out of the white population, we're already a minority. So like a 1.6 birth rate ratio that's not even at replacement rate versus a 3.3 from nons. Like, what am I going to do? Am I going to walk around and make white men be like?
What does civic nationalism look like then?
I mean, we've been living under it. We've basically been living under civic nationalism for, I mean, Lord, since like the Civil Rights Act.
Yeah, but not this one.
I agree. Yeah, the immigration of the last like 10 years has been, if not even a little bit more than that, it's obviously changed it for sure. My point more so being is like if you take the boomers out and you look at birth and replacement rates, which I think you had a conversation with this about Doomer now. I mean, like the math ain't mathin'. Like I would like to push towards these things, but like if white people aren't going to reproduce, I'd like, what are we even doing here? And that's a mindset thing. That's an independent individual thing, right? That's like a you need to get out there and actually do it yourself kind of thing, right? But I don't know how you do that.
I hate to be that guy, especially because me and Zeb rag on the boomers all the time for this, but I'm starting to think that maybe the end of it all is like Doomsday Armageddon Revelation is here sooner than we think.
No, I mean, I'm there, dude.
I mean, it's gotten to the point where, I bought into the whole, like, I do think we have to pursue, we can't just give up, but like, I did believe that, like, history moves on. The Spanish at one point thought that it was over, and then they retook their country from the the Muslims.
Well, I said this, maybe I think I said it on stream the other day. Was it with you? What, maybe it wasn't. I basically said that the position that they are in with respect to Zionism and the boomer and this dynamic, this generational separation that we're seeing. I mean, that they acknowledge, and they have for a while, that they have to do something before the boomer is gone. Because once the boomer is gone, all they have is revolutionaries. And so the only thing stopping that right now is the people with the keys that still have some type of respect. Does that make sense? And so whatever that thing is, whether that's Iran and the rebuilding of the entire Middle East for the Jews, or releasing the Samson option, or allowing or Donald Trump nuking everyone for that to be his legacy, or the building of the American empire, this global American empire, with the go ahead from the older generation because it's MAGA or something. Whatever it is that's going to happen, that is it's got to happen soon.
We're on a 10-year timeline, right? So Corey Muller did a few like open grok posts, right, with some of the research behind it.
4-year timeline.
And it was like, so but on the boomer timeline is what I'm mentioning here. The boomer will be non-existent by around, it's like 2034 and 2036, in that range, when the majority of them have aged out. So I mean, if that's the timeline we're looking at, it'll be done before then. So probably closer to what you're saying, 4-year, 5, 6 year.
Yeah, did Corey have a conversation with the AI? I have to check.
Yeah, he did one of those big, like, long threads on his X.
Yeah, Pope
says
like,
maybe
we should make it worse first. Maybe we should make it worse first. That's a good idea. I really, instead of fighting 150, I would rather fight 250 illegals. That sounds like a good idea.
Well, you're not going to be just fighting the illegals, though.
Instead of fighting 250 nons, I would rather fight 450 nons.
And all the whites, too.
I don't think that would happen, dude. I think they would figure it out really
We just watched two whites jump in front of ICE agents to save black people. Like, they're definitely going to come after you, too.
It's not bad enough yet. It will get there. Yeah,
but they wouldn't get the opportunity to jump in front of the ICE agent.
Fair. I'm just making the point. I think it's going to be a lot more than 150, 250, whatever. We're going to be taking on a lot more than just the entities here in America.
It could be a case of all of the weak liberal white people will be killed by blacks and fighting the good ones as well. That what comes out on the other side will be the Ubermensch.
You can only hope. I mean, that's kind of the point here, which is like, just look at the average. I mean, like the average male of today versus the average male of the founders. It's like not even close, dude. Like we have, obviously there's a lot that goes in there, right? With like industrial poison, processed food, being lied to about things like, food pyramid, things like that. But
here's what I know, dude. Here's what I know. I went to fill up my gas tank today and it cost $74.38. I filled up 2 weeks ago for $45.
Did you forget your rewards card this time?
Right now? Huh?
You forgot your rewards card, dude. Just use your Speedy Rewards card. You would have saved money.
No, it was with the 20-cent discount today. That's crazy work. I had a 20-cent discount today and still ended up $74 and some change in the hole.
I saw today at the QT they had the gas was marked down on the sign 10 cents from what it actually was, and they had paper up in the window. They're like, sorry, it's actually this. I bet they had some, you know what? Like, what the hell? It's like $40. I need my money back, bitch. No, I ain't getting the gas out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much longer they can spend the Iran war either.
Long enough to drop a nuke.
Well, I think it was, it may have been you, Atlas, but I think Nick said as much, like, why aren't you seeing any protests about gas in DC? Like, because no one's paying them. It just goes to show how all these protests are completely astroturfed.
Right.
But the point being,
well, the
people don't have the confidence to do something like that.
Who gets
you
gas
think
in
the
DC?
Vietnam protests were astroturfed?
Good point. It's a good question. I never thought about that.
To an extent. I would say to an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what was the Jews' interest in Vietnam, if any? Didn't like Russia? I know they didn't like Russia.
I have to read about it. It's been a minute since I've looked at Vietnam.
I mean, if I had to guess, it would have been just money exchange, just funneling money into the MIC, and then into contract work. But I haven't really looked at Vietnam like that. I mean, you also have Korea.
Korea.
Oh. Yeah.
They have government gas cards. So true, dude. So true. We used to get we were in the Marine Corps and we had government gas cards. Never had to pay for gas. When we were in a government vehicle, it was like whatever. They got government gas cards, and the politicians, they don't even drive their own cars, so they definitely don't get gas. And then the rest of DC is too poor to get gas. Is there even a gas station in DC?
The Washington Monument.
Where are we at? Vietnam was poppy fields. Yeah.
I guess that is right. That actually goes back to Afghan too.
Yeah.
They needed the money.
Yeah, I want to know how this Cuba thing is going to go off too, dude. I mean, Cuba is Russian. Cuba is essentially Russian territory.
We're gonna get all the refugees.
We're gonna take it.
Miami.
Yeah, we're gonna honor them. What did he say? What did he say? Hold on, let me see it. Let me see. Oh, I got the Sam Harris clip too.
Dang, he's old.
Can y'all hear that?
Uh-oh. I cannot.
Is it Google Chrome? All right, can you hear this, Atlas?
The draws. He's basically saying, listen, we're Christians. We don't need to defend these Jews at all. Their holy book is irrelevant to us. It's just barbarism in there.
Does Israel have the right to that land? Because you're appealing to Genesis. Yeah. You're saying that's the original deed.
It would be fine if they took it all.
I mean, I thought that was fascinating and well worth watching. And the thing that was both interesting and alarming from my point of view there is that Tucker clearly believes, and I have every reason to think he's right to believe this, is that he has an audience that it was prepared for him to put a lot of daylight between him and his Christianity and, you know, plain vanilla evangelical Christianity around these issues. I mean, so the way he went after Huckabee based on a differentiation between the New Testament and the Old Testament. I mean, he walked Huckabee into the Old Testament, so explicitly with respect to I think it was Genesis 15 and a claim that, you know, the God gave.
Anyway, Sam Harris goes on to affirm Huckabee's position. Sam Harris is a one of the new atheists from like 2013, 2014.
Yeah, I remember those days.
He affirms, and he still is, he affirms Mike Huckabee's position of the Old Testament and the right that Israel has to the land. This is Donald Trump talking about Cuba.
A fantastic person who's Cuban and made a fortune in sugar. You know, Fanjul family, right? Take it. I think I could do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth? They're a very
that Macaulay Culkin?
weakened
I forgot about that.
They were for a long
That's Peter Ducey.
time.
The guy next to him.
Oh.
But you see Peter Ducey's reaction? I know I can't see the video, but dude, I remember his face just being like appalled while Trump is like saying this. It's kind of funny.
Very violent leaders. Castro was a very violent leader. His brother's a very violent leader. Extremely violent. That's how they governed. They governed with violence. But a lot of people would like to go back. Okay. I was just...
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how Cuba's going to go over, dude. It's, again, I mean, Cuba's essentially Russian territory. So, I mean, all that being said,
Cuba
China's
for
invading
missile
Taiwan right
interceptors.
now.
Yeah, Cuban Missile Crisis Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, we need your interceptors, please. We have to defend Israel.
I mean,
Or how about
and
France
China's
saying they're
invading
not-
Taiwan right now, too, so.
And France is rebuilding their nuclear arsenal.
Sweden has dibs.
We're cooked.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, I
I'm
got
moving to
I got an
Greenland.
extra shovel. You want to dig a big old hole tomorrow? We call it a bunker.
Oh. I was waiting for you to say what that hole was for before I agreed. Yeah.
That's funny.
I
Most
honestly
useful
think we
I
lived
came
in the
across.
US. I think we see the fall of the U.S. and the rise of America.
Let's hope so.
Can we get? What'd you say?
Said I hope so. We need to start game planning new constitutions too. We need to get framework ahead of time. What was wrong with the first constitution?
Just make
Not
me king,
specific.
and we'll make it up as we go. Done. What was wrong with the first one, dude? A lot of things. I think amendable is a no-go. Absolute no-go. No amendments. Very vague.
Ooh, I like that. One nation under Christ.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like the negative. I like the negative rights idea. I think that should stay. I like the idea of negative rights. But I don't like anything about the alternate religions. I don't like. We need to be very specific too. That was part of it, right? You just said it, right? Like a little too vague. It needs to be very, very, very exceptionally specific.
We have to plan for retards later on deifying a people that wrote a piece of paper that they then take as scripture. We need to understand that that's the position they're going to be in, and we need to write it as such.
Here's the problem with the U.S. Constitution, because like we've talked about before, it works perfectly, or really well at least, in theory, in a nation of primarily WASPs. The problem with it is not just the wording, because you're never going to out legalese the Jews. They're going to interpret it in every little beep, bop, boop, boop, boop. You got to get them out.
So we have
Every
to ban
last
Jeffersonians. So Jeffersonians
I thought that
are
was
banned.
just understood.
Yeah. Oh, the Jew
Dude,
thing?
boomers
Or
ain't understanding
Jeffersonian?
nothing.
Oh, you want Jeffersonians out?
Yeah. Well,
Have to.
What's
gotta
left, dude? I mean, Jefferson's to the right. Jefferson's literally to the right of everyone over the age of 40.
He is,
and
but
like
it's his
90% of everybody under the age of 40.
We need new founding fathers.
How many times these guys refer to the founding fathers, but then we'll disavow any sense of actual kind of like acceleration or revolution or any stronger push? It's the same thing. It's like the people who built this country, they also say we should look up to them, but also disavow anything they actually did. It's nonsensical. They literally waged a revolution over more than just this, but it was a 3% tax increase on tea that really sent them over the edge, right? And look at where we are. Should have been stopped a long time ago.
Let's cross the
good
Delaware,
element of that
boys.
in there.
In a political sense.
Yeah, what happened to the mentality?
Zach says you have to have a Christian theocracy with a heavy military that is held to account, and people in power can't gain massive profits from service. I'm not against profits from service. I'm against usury, if that's what you're alluding to. You have to have Christian theocracy with a heavy military. Yeah, I'm not necessarily pro theocracy. I think there needs to be a theocratic positioning to balance off what we would call a Christian prince. The prince answers to said echelon, and the echelon answers to the prince. But that's a horizontal answering that is also vertical. It's hard to explain. Stephen Wolfe lays it out in his book a little bit better than I did. I think it's like chapter 7.
You doing a sacralism?
Am I doing a sacralism? Yeah.
No, I said a Stephen Wolfe doing a sacralism.
I am if you run for office, you can't become rich. I'm not opposed to the rich or the wealthy. I'm opposed to them gaining it in a way that is non-productive. Like things that don't produce something shouldn't be like non-productive things, like interest, like money lending. I would even say something like landlordism. Maybe that's what he's talking about. I mean, I would be opposed to some of that stuff.
I'm okay, like some sort of
it would have to have a hard cap on it, like early hard cap.
Communal, like, I don't know. Banning the things we know don't work. Usury. I heavily agree with the landlord thing. Yeah. Free market.
Yeah.
Women. And
well, the late stage capitalism has some problems we're going to have to work out too.
So, absolutely. But in South Africa, for example, did they teach during apartheid? Like, did they teach about black IQs or anything like that, or were they still considered, even at that time, like civil, like, you know, like cohesive with the rest of the world? I mean, because apartheid was dismantled in the 90s. You know, were they like, we have to be in charge because these people are stupid and they're ugly and cannot do anything right and they'll destroy the country in a few decades? Or were they just kind of like, that's how it was set up and they knew it, but they weren't saying it? Because I've not really looked into the Africa stuff like Rhodesia and South Africa really at all.
I don't know. I think Chad is Chad. No, Chad's not from South Africa. He says they were race realists.
I feel like they'd have to be. But,
yeah, I think they did. Meme coins and rug pulls become a capital offense. Yes, very much so.
Yeah, instantly going to the gallows.
I don't know. I think we talked about this a while ago, and I don't remember what you said, but I kind of like what Andrew Yang proposed about how each citizen is allotted like $1,000.
Your pro UBI
that they don't have access to, but can use to spend on a campaign. I mean, ultimately, I wouldn't like something like that because that involves voting, and I don't like voting. But I'm thinking about a way to fund campaigns that doesn't involve interests. I like the Christian Prince idea more, but I just don't know if that's going to happen ever.
You're asking how to fund campaigns without lobbying, essentially.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's possible. I mean, I'm all for banning lobbying, but the lobbying will still happen. It's like, okay, we ban weed, the weed's still here. We ban coke, it's still here. Just because you ban the thing doesn't mean it doesn't exist. They'll just find another form, another way around it. It's like, and the people in office would be the ones that were being paid off to get there and being funded to get there, and so they would not be inclined to snitch on someone that does. And if someone did and they wanted to get rid of them, then they would. We have an example of that, don't we, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I just don't think you can get rid of lobbying. That's kind of the thing I toss out there when it comes to like term limits. It's like, okay, term limits, maybe it helps. I don't agree. I would vote for term limits if I was there, but I don't think it would assist in any way, shape at all. The thing that you need to be targeting is lobbying. Lobbying is the issue, not term limits themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with Jefferson? Hamilton tried to let usury into the states. Jefferson was lax on immigration. Jefferson was he brought too much of his French Enlightenment over to America.
He was
his
primary too.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of them actually were. Hamilton tried to let usury into the states. I have no issue with the national bank that Hamilton built. It wasn't built on usury. The central banking system that Hamilton built wasn't the central banking system as we know it today. Did I read your super chat? Actually, I don't.
All right, dude. If y'all want to keep going, that's great. But I got to be up in 4 hours.
Vietnam was mostly for money, but also a calling. Yeah. Josh said he's tired. Chat. Oh, it is almost 12 o'clock. Call Josh gay.
That's funny.
Gay and a week.
Gay and a week. All right. Tell Josh night.
Go to Myrtle Beach and start breaking sprinkler systems in hotels so I can quit my job.
Say night, Josh.
It's funny.
Night.
Atlas. Night.
I'm not saying night. I'm not doing it.
Night.
And you can't make
say it night. All right,
take
dude.
a vow of silence. I will stare blankly into the camera and make it uncomfortable.
I know that Atlas, he's tucking his daughter into bed and he's like, goo goo gaga. He's making all the silly goo goo faces.
What do I say?
Good night, daughter.
All right, chat. That was what? 3 hours? 4 hours? I can't math right now. 9, 10, 11, 12. 3. Thank y'all for stopping by. He says, can call in an hour. I'm not doing another hour. Will I go live tomorrow? I don't know. Atlas, you going live tomorrow?
Gonna be a game time decision for me.
All right. That's a good enough answer, I guess. Josh.
Yes.
Can you pay attention in the morning and get a actual conversation going? Dude, I get exhausted in the mornings listening to these boomers go back and forth about the same thing day in and day out. It's like, how can I suck Trump's dick today?
You know what he does that pisses me off? Because we'll be in the show and I'm clearly like scrolling my phone. So he'll say, Josh, grab your mic. I want to ask you something. So I put my phone down and I get near the mic, and then he just goes on and on and on. And I'm like, you bastard. I'm getting right back on my motherfucking phone.
JR for 2 says, you think this war will prevent Ladybug from winning, or could?
Isn't it Paul Dans is running against him in the runoff?
Is he? I haven't seen it.
I thought so.
Yeah, I didn't even know he voted in South Carolina, to be honest with you. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't think we voted in South Carolina.
I'm pretty sure, right? Isn't it Paul? I swear to God, it was Paul Dans, guy who's like one of the big.
He's running against him. Mark Lynch is too.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure Paul Dans forced a runoff. I'm positive that's what I saw.
No, not governor. Senate. June 9th. Yeah, I don't think we
got the answer. Let
voted
me
yet.
ask Grok. All hail Grok. Please answer my question.
No, we haven't voted yet, dude. Yeah, primaries are in May here. Yeah, I think it's closer to June, dude.
Maybe somebody in chat can correct me.
Kevin said there's someone running against Lindsey Graham who didn't take APAC money and looks pretty good. Mark Lynch didn't take APAC money. I don't know about Paul Dans, but
Paul Dans is getting some more traction, but
well, he got a Tucker spot the day he announced.
Oh.
So
who Paul Dans?
Some people toss his name around. They want me to interview him. I don't know if I want to entertain it, to be honest with you.
Spy.
I've said some things about Paul Dans that
Yeah. Okay,
aren't
that's what
friendly.
it is. So Dans and Mark Lynch are currently projected to get enough votes for the race to force a runoff in South Carolina.
Yeah, I
So it's
think
between both
that'll
of them.
happen. I think Lindsey wins still, but yeah, there's probably going to be a runoff between Lindsey Graham and Paul Dans, but Lindsey Graham will win.
Have a little optimism. It's your state.
Yeah, Josh.
Get out
this
there.
is how it is. I mean,
I got a dog bed right there for you.
This is how it is, though. I mean, there was another candidate who was really, really popular around here named Andre Bauer, and they put the campaign to sleep. I won't get into specifics, but Lindsey plays dirty, and he's evil. And that's what I was talking about that with my grandmother. I was like, dude, like people in South Carolina hate Lindsey Graham. I've not met a single person working in a political adjacent field that likes Lindsey Graham. They all hate him. And she's like, well, they keep voting for him. I'm like, no, they don't. He kills the competition. And who was the guy? Maybe you know this. I forget his name, but he ran against him a few years ago and they literally got him arrested on like fake cocaine charges. The guy did some coke in the 80s and they dredged that up and then put him in jail for like 19 years or like 10 years.
So you guys should have had a revolution a long time ago. What's going on in South Carolina?
All this.
You guys don't have rope?
All this.
Ooh.
We won the revolutionary.
Nancy Mace will dethrone Lindsey Graham. There we go.
Nancy Mace is running for governor.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Still?
You guys are cooked.
Yeah.
She hadn't dropped out?
No.
My boss is like, reach out to Nancy. We want to get her on the show. And I'm like, why? She sucks, dude.
Well, it's like okay. Let me ask y'all this, since y'all are whatever you are. Let's say we do get somebody decent in South Carolina that can run against Lindsey Graham or whoever else. It's like, what is decent enough? What is decent enough for Nick to like back him? Or is there just there is no? He's endorsing Fishback like full on.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
Why Fishback and not Casey? Traction? Already traction?
Traction, and I think more so with his thing with Casey. I mean, he said he's rooting for Casey, but he said being realistic, he's like with the polling numbers, he doesn't expect anything really for Casey to put a dent into the race.
Yeah, I'm just not convinced Fishback's not Plant.
I'm not either. I'm not convinced he is. I was talking about that on Groiper Report. Like, I'm not as sold on him. But it could be a case of he just reminds me of Vivek.
Yeah, but it's the rhetoric is what matters with Fishback, right? Like the unapologetic America first. We're talking about sin taxes, dude.
That's what mattered with Trump.
26.
That's what I said about Vance too, dude. I couldn't give two fucks about rhetoric right now.
It's fair, but ultimately, though, like we wouldn't be here without that rhetoric, right?
True.
Like the show wouldn't exist on YouTube. We wouldn't even be talking. This community wouldn't exist. NAV would be a figment of our imaginations. There are benefits to these things. How much of it is a benefit? We don't know.
Casey just needs money.
And
here's the thing: if you think Fishback's a plant, just vote for Byron Donalds, right? If Fishback's a plant,
I agree with you.
Kevin said Casey needs a better campaign strategy. No, Casey just needs money.
Casey needs money badly.
It just takes money. Like quite literally, that's what it boils down to. Like if you don't have money, you can't. Like it's not possible. Especially in state elections. Like national elections are a different story. Or during national election season, it's a different story. These midterms, if you don't have money, you don't win. Period.
Right. Well, he also talked about he didn't even have enough time. He can't even do events because he's still working.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I didn't even know that. Yeah, oh man.
Well, I mean, that's what office was originally intended to just be working class people holding office, making decisions, but then all the lobbying and the money got into it. And that's when things started fade away.
I don't know. I'm also
all right, Atlas, sign us off, dude.
Yeah, well, appreciate everybody for being here for the members call-in show. Sorry I lost gas about 2.5 hours ago, unfortunately. I think a lot of us did. We appreciate you guys calling in. As much as we all are suffering for it, I hope you guys are having a good time. And no, I'm just messing. I'm just want to be funny. Christ is king. As always, seek first the kingdom of God. I refuse the black pill. I know it's bleak, but I'm not going to give up. I'm sorry. I have a daughter. I know it's easier for a lot of other people to give up, but I have children. I can't, and I'm sorry, and that's where I'm at. But have a good rest of your night.
Night.
I stand before you today, a free man, no chains, no masters.
The fourth day of rallies and protests on the streets of Los Angeles.
It was a peaceful rally. What is